Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Transfer Watch show, Chelsea Transfer Watch show on Chelsea Perspective. More importantly, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone, but it's important that I also say blue morning to you because, in fact, it is the Blue Morning Show. I hope you guys are doing well, and I sincerely do hope so. And I want to say a blue morning to my brother IBZ, who's already on the panel to me before I get to those who's in the chat. IBZ, how are you doing, brother?
Morning, bro. Morning. I'm all good, bro. New day, new work, new hustle. All of that's good stuff.
Mm. Yeah, brilliant. Nice to hear that you're doing well. That's important to hear. So there's a tradition here. I'm going to go straight to the chat to know how those there are doing because we're family here on Chelsea Perspective. The first comment comes in from Phantom of Many Topics. He says it's a seventh like. Usually you're the first, so you actually missed out on the European uh, uh, European Cup. And here we have Lamley. He says, Blue morning, Kachila. Blue morning to you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Lamley said, Kachila, you have to fill me in on why you think it's. No, I said it's not. It's our fault we lost on Kounde. No, maybe I missed a word there or two. And I said it's not our fault. It's not our fault. I agree. It's not last year, but this year, if we went earlier for him, I mean, this year we would have got him. I don't think so. I think the whole thing comes down to the behavior of Sevilla, no matter how you want to see it. I think we'll have time to talk about it even further. Maybe we should start by talking about why we missed out on Kounde. I think that makes sense. I agree with you. We should have indeed talk about it. Mason God Day says, big up, Kuchila. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. And Sup Bro says, Dan, it's been quite a while. Dan, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good morning, bro. Big up. Good morning, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Don Raymond, nice to see you again. Abhisha Moha, good morning. Good morning, Moha. How are you doing, brother? It's been a while. Please do let us know you're doing well. Who can we hijack? Yeah, that's what we do now. Mason got the Boehly and Co are very slow in the market, not quick enough because they don't know anything about football. They only knew about baseball market. Again, they're not good enough. Again, I'd argue otherwise because that's a chance the case is just they don't understand the politics of the transfer window. Even if you're given the opportunity, no matter how well you know the players and all that, I think you'd still struggle because it's still politics is part of all the negotiation process. You knowing that other clubs are vying for the signature of the same player that those who's been in the game for a while, who knows what to do to convince a player to want to come to them, things like that. Let's go for CR7 again. I don't think it will happen, and like we've heard, the manager doesn't want him. So again, if you're coming in, we have 28 people watching at this point, and I think we should measure the likes should measure that or come close to it. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. Again, yeah, I am doing well. Thank you. Nice to hear that, Dan. Coming back to the panel, my brother IBZ. Hey, Carol, my brother, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm all right,
I can't
I'm all right.
complain. Good to hear that you're well.
You know what
I
I mean?
can't complain.
I'm happy
Given this
that.
comment, yeah, go ahead, brother. You were still saying
No, no,
something.
no. I was just saying I'm happy in general. Just, happy vibes. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was going to say, given this comment by Liam Lane, he seemed to argue, if Liam, correct me if I'm wrong, that it is partly, or maybe it's our fault that we didn't get him because we didn't go in earlier. And remember, we were working on other targets. And I don't think because you could say we're short on personnel, or we're short on personnel with expertise on how to navigate the transfer market. That's why probably the man was taking it one by one. Or you could argue it's entirely Sevilla's fault because yeah, even when we thought we'd given up on the player, that's a chance it was a strategy. So I don't think it was ever our fault. But I want to get your thought. Why do you think we missed out on Kounde?
Um, a lot of factors. I think it's just that we don't have, even even if it was gonna go to this bidding war, I believe you needed like agents going out there and doing this thing. There are many times you see agents, or not agents, and when I say agents, I mean like the club's agents, the club's hitmen going out and doing these things. You see, like, when signings want to be made, you hear, oh, X flew out this place to sit there and, you know, chill in Spain for 2 weeks, you know, trying to get deals done. And we don't have the delegation to do that. Todd Boehly just came in. There needs to be a slow teething process in what we're going through and what is evident. The personnel that was there to help us with the signings are gone. So it was inevitable that would have been slow burner from our end. And from their end, they'll probably just play games with us, wait for offers and what have you. If we had people in place, yeah, that won't be an issue. Because we would have had our stance. We would have like that. This is what we would have, like Bobby said last week, we would have given them a deadline. But we didn't do any of those things. So I got it down to not having the right personnel to finish your deals, man. That's all. I can only think of that. Like, whatever reason do you have for not securing these deals? What reason do you have for not securing these deals? You must not be good negotiator. You must be lacking in having the right connects, the right contact in your diary. What directors do you know? You know, do you know other directors of other clubs to talk about how their agents are? You know, these conversations these conversations, he doesn't have. He's just arranged a meeting, a dinner with the rest of the league. He's just arranged that because he wants to meet them. So you can already see that there's inexperience there, and it's fine. It's totally fine because I believe that it's a rebuild, isn't it? So obviously, if he's failing now, he's gonna come good in the future. I spoke to Jason Kounde yesterday, and Jason Kounde goes to me, "How long can you wait?" I said, "Mate, how long can you wait, Jason?" Jason's Chelsea legend. I said, "How long can you wait, Jason?" He says, I'm gonna have to be realistic and say this year is a bonus if we get anything like top four, a miracle if we get silverware. We're gonna have to understand the process, and we just have to be in a rebuilding stage. So we don't expect anything for another couple of seasons if it's like this. And now we're going in for other targets. Hopefully the same mistakes are not made with this deal. Maybe our eyes have now opened to like, we need to be more rigorous and aggressive. And maybe have the right people in place to finalize our deals, man. That's all. I can't see any other reason why we won't get these signings, as opposed to other than the fact that we don't have directors of football and technical directors and sporting directors in place. I don't see any other reason why or how. Do you see any other reason how we will miss out on players without the
I don't think so. I think I think
how,
Sevilla wanted to play a game, or maybe we didn't beat enough for them to say give us the green light so we can close out the deal on time.
Even still, they did all of that. That's their business. They can do what they want with a player that's under their contract. They can do what they want. But us as the consumer or the person that's going to acquire the target, how could we not negotiate something? How could we not be assertive enough? How could we not lay down our principles for this asset? And that has to be because we don't have personnel representing Chelsea, representing the value, representing how much we spend to say, look, this is where we are, this is how we are, this is where we don't budge. So many people, so many pundits, so many people were saying it yesterday. This is where I disagreed with Bobby when he's mentioned it's all her fault. People are saying, hang on, this is the woman, the Iron Lady of the window. She would have got these deals done. Whether or not we liked how she ended the final year, but she at least
whether or not she's made mistakes in the past.
You know what I mean? She at least deserves her and Peter Cech. Thomas Tuchel described Peter Cech as so hands-on we won't even believe it. He's more hands-on than we actually even believe. That means to say the guy is on his job. And you're like, man, of course things are not going to... Obviously, you argue that Peter Kenyon is not really that much of a miss. But Moreno Granskaya and Petr Cech, those were big misses. And I don't think Thomas Tuchel is enjoying this DOF hybrid, coach hybrid. I don't think he's enjoying it. Like we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Again, no matter how we see it, when players talk to players, whether they're retired or not, they listen. For instance, Xavi is a legend. The whole world knew who he was when he's still playing. Even after his retirement, the world, people still know him. You know, the younger generation, they do know who he is. So him speaking with the player makes a huge difference. Let's assume we have better check out the club. If we called him on the phone, it will make a huge difference. You know, but that's, by the way, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come to the driver in a bit. Rodrigo, greetings, brother. How are you doing?
The driver.
Yeah, the panic bus driver. That's Rodrigo for you. And bro, I hope this is not coming across to you as insulting, please. You know, we're all playing.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this because I'm more.
You love the job.
I pick up Ty yesterday at the bus stop, so it's good. Is it?
Oh, you picked up Ty.
Yeah, whatever it is, pick up Ty. IBC. There's a seat right next to me here. Please, I need a conductor.
No, I don't need a seat. See the panic bus here. I don't drive. I'm not on it. What I'm a forecaster, so I will tell you the weather forecast before everything happens. Trust me. And I'm telling you,
the Oracle.
It's forecasting treacherous weather ahead for the next year. Treacherous weather ahead. Stay frosty. Put your clothes on. I'm telling you.
All right, let me quickly catch up on the chat. I'll come back to Rodrigo in a bit. Chinedu Biagam says the problem with the transfer is Tuchel. He does not want many players that are feasible. Again, he's a top coach and probably wants top players, and top players aren't easy to get. Whatever top player you go for, the chances are there are many other clubs who are equally interested in the player. And unfortunately for us, clubs like Barcelona, even when they can, some people, I don't know if that's the case, but I'd argue that some players actually would be willing to go play for them for free, as long as they get to eat. But that's, by the way, the outline says, Kachila, we knew Barca was struggling to get the money. No, actually, they weren't struggling to get the money. I'd argue otherwise, Lam. You know I love you, bro, but I'd argue otherwise. All they have to tell the club is just give us time. And the player, just give us time, and they will wait. And all this while, we've given them, our bid winning for nearly a week plus, for nearly a week or so, and they didn't give us the green light. They had to document the player. We even our agreement with the player is to pay him even more than Barcelona are going to pay him. So I'm not sure where the argument is. No, it's not about. We didn't make any mistake there. Even again, we'll get more and more into it, but explain to me what you're trying to say there. Again, Barcelona was struggling to get the money for the Rafinha deal. So if we went at that time, we would have had a great chance to get him. And if we really wanted him beat the release clause, that's too much. That would be too much for him.
I've got a theory.
Wow.
I've got a theory I want to share on Barcelona.
Yeah, let me just catch up with the chat. If you try, when I'm not far too behind, if you don't mind. Okay. Yeah, Strikoman says you need someone big from the club like Xavi, who was very important in convincing all these players with this project, etc. Without Xavi, I don't think we would have gotten a Lewy or KCA and ETC.
No
Again, I don't think it all comes down to Xavi. In the case of Kounde, Sevilla, they're really playing games, and that's how I see it. Todd Boehly's diary is full with his lunch appointments, obviously. I think that's what's happening here, because I'm not sure what he's doing. And we're hearing that he's trying to host a dinner for all the Premier League executives. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a distraction. I don't know. Boehly got played went to dinner with Barca, where they asked him about his transfer targets, made a note, asked him to pay for the dinner, and laughed as he left. Yeah, he probably paid for the dinner, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions yet. I still believe that they had some measure of agreement, the gentleman agreement, but it remains to be seen. Tribune says, Kachila, it was widely reported in the UK, Marina agreed a deal with club on lower fee, and also Kounde. Then the target changed. No doubt, Boehly decided against she what? maybe that may have been the case. Kounde wants to achieve his dream. If that's the case, bye-bye to him. I understand if that's your theory. Newcastle wants Werner. If they want him, maybe they'll probably pay us more money. Let's give him to Newcastle United. Give them Werner, and get the money. Give them Werner, maybe get Alan Saint-Maxima. I think he'd be better off. At least I know he still plays like he's in primary school or raw talent, or maybe sometimes dribbles himself. But I'd take him over Timo Werner. At least he can take on players and beat them in most cases. Maybe just 20% of the times he dribbles himself. What's good, Coach? Ryan Moores, I'm good, brother. I hope you're doing it well. Werner for Saint-Maxima, I do that. Yes, thank you. That's a good suggestion. I'm going to be honest. If you are a Chelsea fan and complaining about this, then you just like to hear the sound of your own voice, because there's nothing wrong with this networking event. Again, we have reasons to complain, and it's natural. We're humans. When we're seeing, you're not seeing results, and it just seemed to us as if the person in charge, who we expect that result from, is busy doing other things. We have to complain. It's a human thing. Todd Boehly had a dream in Mayfair, had dinner in Mayfair with West Ham fan James Corden the other day. So I think he might have been discussing Declan Rice. There's a chance that's the case. Coachella, we will have to agree to disagree on Kounde, because for me, timing had an awful lot to do with us losing him. Again, there's a chance that's the case, but again, it all comes down to the behavior, the way I see it, in my own opinion, to the behavior of Sevilla and Monchi. Hey, coach, after spending too much time on Aki, Kounde would now be a Chelsea player. I don't think so. Maybe I'm misreading what your comment there. Again, I'm going to skip to the very, very bottom. I'll just keep getting to these comments one by one. Coming back to the panel, so I'm going to ask you this, but before I do that, if you're watching, please keep liking the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And Kimso, I hate Barcelona, Sevilla, and I understand, but nice to see you. Please do let us know you're doing well. So Rodrigo, coming to you, let us know, why do you think we missed out on Kounde? Again, let's wrap up with that one before we move on.
Yeah, I've got a quick theory. Maybe it won't make sense to some people, but to me, I think it makes sense. So the reason I believe these players are going to Barcelona on supposedly reduced wages, I think there's a lot of under the table accounting that's going on. So here's what I think. So some of these players, maybe they get paid an offshore account. So on paper, it looks like Rafinha, they're only getting paid 55K.
That's a serious theory.
Yeah,
that's an offshore account.
Yeah, but
here's the counter question I have for you. Where do you get the money to pay them in the offshore account? The same, maybe an existing offshore account.
Oh, Barcelona, they'll find it. They have the money.
Or maybe there's already an existing offshore account.
Yeah, they have the money. So the reason that obviously they don't want to put all the salaries in the book, it makes the book looks bad, because it makes So it's like what a lot of the banks did in 2008, where they just where on the face value of it, when you look at the official book, you think, oh, this bank is healthy, but actually under the table, there's a lot of accounting tricks that's going on. So I don't believe any of these players, because logically it doesn't make sense that one employer will pay you more, the legal way, the clean way, and another employer will pay you significantly less, and then you're gonna take a pay cut. I think there's more under the table that probably we're not seeing. And another thing is probably, you know how in La Liga, Barcelona and Real Madrid have almost a monopoly on TV right, on many of the revenue that comes to that league. So all these other small teams in that league, they almost have to worship these two giants, because it's not like in the Premier League where Burnley's already gone. So like Brentford and Bournemouth, they all have the same rights when it comes to TV money. So Man United can't bully Watford on accepting less terms with the TV license and TV right people. I think in La Liga you have to negotiate that individually, and obviously the big boys take the majority of the money. So you have to be in a good books with these big boys. I'm just trying to come up with a logical explanation because it doesn't make sense of why Sevilla would accept to take less money than what Chelsea offered. It has to.
I think again, the simple explanation, if you ask me, if they're paying more upfront, which I don't think, if Chelsea hear that the difference, if we hear that the difference between the structure of our offer to Sevilla is just that Barcelona are willing to pay more, I don't think we'll pull out. And again, I don't think the pullout is actually complete yet.
I think it is, mate, and I'm happy. I'm happy when I saw results.
Is it really?
Yeah, then listen. I think it is. I've heard from more people it is, and I'm happy.
Okay, but what I was saying is this. What I was saying is this: is if the difference was just the upfront payment, I think we're more prepared to pay more upfront than they are. So I don't think that's the case. I think it's something else, maybe something we don't know. But that's by the way.
That's what I'm saying. I think
go ahead, Rodrigo.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's more like there must be some incentive as to why Sevilla are willing to take a pay cut on this deal. There must be, because it doesn't
probably
make
they
business
can guarantee. Probably they can guarantee bonuses upon winning silverware, upon qualifying for Champions League.
For Champions,
you know what I mean? They can afford that. They can afford that offer more than guarantee that offer. Sorry, more than us.
Yeah.
Obviously, our league is more competitive.
Obviously,
we got like 5 other teams to compete with to get to the top 4 of the league. They necessarily don't really have that problem. Even in their worst start, Javi came in, and what happened? They finished second. So they are almost guaranteed to qualify for any bonus that they may have put in their contract.
And another thing as well is maybe. Because obviously we come in this with Premier League mentality where we never see teams selling to the rivals at a discount price. Maybe in other leagues, like in La Liga or Serie A, maybe a transaction between rivals is a normal thing, and the price there's a discount as well. Or because
Hakan Çalhanoğlu just left AC Milan to go to Inter Milan.
Yeah. Easy.
Again, it makes sense. I think we're going to move on
left Juventus to go to Roma. You know, they do it normal over there. It's scary.
Yeah, let me quickly catch up with the chat, then we can move on to the other topic we have to talk about today. Tribute says tapas in Barca, Dina with West Asham, Koden, Dina with EPL bosses. Food seems a major thing for the man. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I'm not just going to jump to conclusions, but I get your argument here. Let me see anything here. I came on with a fight. Yeah, you told me yesterday. We'll talk about it in a bit. Let me just try and catch up with the chat. Sevilla said, Coach, I agree with you that Sevilla is playing games now. They are playing waiting game just to pay, just to get us to pay, or Barcelona to pay more money, because of Kounde had agreed the terms with both teams. That's the truth. Yeah, again, I think versus Arsenal, Tuchel is showing the Chelsea owners where the problems are. Where the problems are. If we are winning and we go into season poor, everybody will start calling the manager out. Again, that's the truth. Here we go again. Corruption talk. That's not well be the case. Kounde is not what Tuchel wants. I think he prefers a Kimpembe. Again, that's just you consoling yourself, or just the Chelsea fans being in denial. Again, I love what my brother Alex does from Grintov. Whenever we miss out on the player, he gets a sign up. That's a picture of someone with a board saying we never wanted Kounde or something like that. But I know him making fun of the fan base. Not really, but you get the joke that he lost 2 defenders and he's only replaced 1. 2 of his senior defenders are unhappy and pushing to leave. So yeah, I get his frustration really. Timo, Alonso, Aspi, Broya, Boehly have been assessing options all summer. Deadwood, no one wants to sign and has only been able to sign a quarter of his attacking targets. Again, to the Deadwoods, what my argument would be, if we really want them out, and some of them, you just terminate the contract and take the L, because it's clear some of them don't want to leave because they're on a very, very, very high wage. And no club wants them because it's not like they are, you could say, in an exceptional form. that would make all other clubs, fight for their signature. But that hasn't happened. But that's, by the way, there are a few alternatives of CVs who are also quality. Klosterman, Gvardio, Lacroix, Pau Torres, Skriniar, Bastoni, I don't think will leave Inter, and he himself has said that. How many people have been tried in Spain? Mourinho, Ronaldo, Messi, etc., all prosecuted, and that's the truth. Again, I don't think you can easily get away with corruption there, or even tax evasion or loan. You get caught, but there's there's a structure they have in place. That's the video. I don't know if I have the right to share it here. Just Viola shared it with me, that explain how they're able to spend that much money and get away with it. It's not actually an offense. They're not committing any offense at all. It's our own cup of tea. We delayed too much in making a decision. We needed to be smart next time. It's not about being smart. It's about, if you were desperate already for obvious reasons, but if you act desperately, then your situation gets worse, because clubs will understand, okay, they're desperate. We should do the best we can to get more money out of them. And I don't want to see that happen again. For the attack, 18 million for the pay. I don't think I want to pay at the club. Big up Kachila, big up Deals. How are you doing? I want Wesley Fofana. Makes sense. I think we'll talk about that in a bit. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. And if I missed any of your comments, apologies. I will try to read your subsequent contributions in the chat. Again, thank you very much. Coming back to the panel, I think we should just go ahead and start looking at this. Here's what we're looking at here. Says among the alternative to Jules Kounde, I don't know, is it Jules or is it Jules? Which is it?
I don't even care.
Jules.
I mean, Jules.
Okay, let me just call it Jules, maybe. Again, if you're watching, we have 94 people watching and we have just 29 likes. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video. And already we have 102 votes. So please, as you're voting, at the same time, take a second, to like the video to help us reach 300 likes. We haven't hit 300 likes during the show here, but the votes gets more hit from the participant here. So please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Now, it says among the alternative to Jules Kounde being considered by Chelsea are Villarreal's Pau Torres, Inter Milan's Skriniar, RB Leipzig Josko Gvardiol, and Bayern Munich's Dayot Upamecano, and Benjamin Pavard. So I'm gonna start with you again.
Can I start, please?
Yeah, go ahead. So I don't know. Let me ask you this question first. Let's prioritize. Let's prioritize because it's important. The season is about to start in about how many weeks now? 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks actually? 2
weeks.
In 2 weeks now. So let's prioritize. If we look at what we have, we're going to the season without a second with just one right back. That is if Cesar Azpilicueta leaves. We'll be going into the season with only one player who's capable of playing at the right back position and also the right wing back position. Let's add to that list actually, because I'm hearing that we're looking at signing was the Dutch international that plays in the right hand, Dumfries also. So let's prioritize which player do you think we should go for first, because it makes sense to plan yourself very well that if you sign a single player, then you'll be okay for why you have the time. Why do you look at other options? Even if we want 3 defenders, which of them would you like us to go for first?
Okay. To be honest, from my side, we need to prioritize the center backs first before going for Dumfries. And again, I have an issue with Chelsea fans. I was fighting with them now on Twitter. They're saying how can we be linked with Pau Torres, Skriniar? They're busy complaining. There's no time for complaining now. We are behind. We need center backs. We are behind. I'm not saying we should panic. All I'm saying, we are behind.
You think we should prioritize signing the center back and not even Dumfries?
No.
Okay. But which of the center backs do you have in mind specifically, and why?
to be honest, we need a left centre back. So I'll prioritize Pau Torres first because it's a left centre back, and I don't see Leipzig selling Gvardiol after one season. And then the reports are saying Sevilla are willing to sell Pau Torres on a right price. So all I'm saying now, if Pau Torres is available, we should go for him, while the other teams are not going for him. And then
that's a shout.
Again, we are behind. We need centre backs because like we can rely on Thiago Silva and then Chalaba and then who's Koulibaly. I'm sorry. And then now again, coach, you're linked with Dumfries. Chelsea fans are crying. How can we get Dumfries while Reece James is there? But again, they were complaining Reece James is not good enough because like his slide, his form has been slide. We need someone to give him competition. Now they're crying again. They say we don't need Dumfries. Man,
Chelsea fans are fickle. Chelsea fans are fickle. This is what I'm saying. This is my argument with Chelsea fans, and I don't want to. I have my views, but obviously I keep it private. But I believe that some of them are just manufactured in 2012 or manufactured in 2017. Most of these fans don't understand. They don't understand the game. They just think that ultimate team. We don't need this guy. We don't need this guy. Remember when people say we don't need a striker? Kai Havertz will do the job. I say, hey, what gassed you? So, Aboro Jesus, we've seen everything in our eyes.
And again,
shine your eye where you go see now.
And again,
go ahead, Land. So you're saying Pau Torres should be the priority?
Yes.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. I get your argument. I think otherwise, without coming with my argument, I want to get Rodrigo's input. Rodrigo, which of the players do you think we should prioritize? You know, we have on the list. I think you've seen it before. We have Pau Torres. We have Skriniar, Milan Skriniar. We have Josko Gvardio. We have Joel. Is it nice with Diet? Upamecano, and also Benjamin Pavard. Added to that list because we're hearing we're really interested. We're interested in bringing in Denzel Dumfries. Which of them would you prioritize? Because it makes sense to prioritize and bring in the most important of those needs, so that we'll be okay at least to a certain measure going into the coming season. Which of them do you think we should go for first of all?
I think we should. If he's a left-sided defender, we should go for Kimpembe. I'll break the bank for him.
So tell me why you think we should prioritize, Kimpembe, all the other targets.
Yeah, I want to defend. I want Skriniar and Kimpembe as the two centre backs to add to the team. Because and then you can reverse the back three of Kimpembe, Koulibaly, and Skriniar on the right. The reason I want Kimpembe is aggressive. He played under Tuchel and he's played big games as well. He's got a good experience, and actually when he plays for the national team, he doesn't get played that position like a certain someone that we've been begging. He doesn't play in his preferred position, and Saliba plays as a centre back and he plays the right back. So when you have Kimpembe, good experience at PSG. Captain that team. He had brilliant games in the Champions League last season, and he's very good on the ball, and he's able to do what Rudiger does, which is driving into midfield from a centre back. So that allows you. You know how Rudiger used to step in midfield, and he's able to do that really well. He progressed the ball well. I only think obviously people say sometimes he's rushing his decision, but that obviously comes with age. I think if you watch the Champions League last year, you see, especially the Madrid game. I know the loss, but the first leg, it was unbelievable, really, really good. So I think we should go after him. I would, if PSG are asking for 50 million, we're willing to pay 55 million for Kounde. Why don't we just pay that?
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Kimpembe. We've been quoted a price. We've been quoted a price 50 to 60, right?
Yeah.
But the issue is that we've heard that the player himself, he's torn between remaining at PSG and joining Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, this is where the manager
and
needs to.
Plus, like Tobago mentioned in the private chat, I think Tobago, you can always actually come in and say that the new manager has him in his plans. And actually, we heard the news about a few weeks ago, him and the manager having a laugh about him being linked to Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah. Well, if this is this can't happen, then we need to look at Skriniar on the right and then play Koulibaly on the left. I know he's right-footed, but Rudiger did play on that side of the pitch. We definitely need one or two more centre backs, and I ideally want to go for centre back in an age range between 25 to maybe 30. So people,
but that's where the argument. That's why we're trying to prioritize. We know we need 3 more, like the manager wants, but which should we bring in first to solve multiple problems for us at the same time? But go ahead, you were saying something now.
We can't just go for one. If you go for both of them, you go at the same time. You're talking to both of them, and then you.
There's no chance we'll bring 2 of them in at the same time. But I'm asking, which should we bring in first? I know we want 3. But which one should we nearly started? The league starts in just 2 weeks. Yeah, go ahead.
My preference it will be Kimpembe on the left, but I think the one that we could get, I think Skriniar. But again, Inter Milan will probably ask for a lot of money.
Okay, let me quickly and we're learning also that it's not easy ourselves. I think the club we tried before, and you could also argue what's the name. PSG also they tried too. Maybe they were priced out of because they did beat. It's not like it's not for sale. Maybe they're asking for quite a lot of money. Let me catch up with the chat. I know I have my brother Ty here again in on the panel, but I'll go to IBC when I come back. Then I'll get to Ty and here a panic buy incoming soon. Again, that may well end up being the case, but we'll see what happens. I think there's still time. I'm not going to panic yet. Rodrigo can count me out as one of his passengers. He's not going to get me. Pau Torres, highly rated prospect. Again, I get that. He's a prospect, and that's well phrased there, but I'm not going to prioritize him, and I'll say why. Again, Gvardio swap deal with Werner, it's not that simple. Even at that, I think Leipzig will be asking for much more money than we're willing to offer. Again, and you see a club run away too. Gvardio and Skriniar, that's a good combo. You're covering 2 spaces. You're covering the right-hand side. Then you have somebody who's capable of playing that is RCB, the right centre-back position, and also the right back or right wing back position. It depends on the approach the manager wants to use in the game. Blue, I am loyal to bro. Again, if you haven't, guys, go check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I think he's having a conversation with True Blue there. Can Dumfries play in an RCB position? We need a player who's capable, an RCB player instead of LCB, because we have Colwell, Sarr, and Koulibaly who can play here, who can play there. Kim, so you're sounding like I had a conversation with you, because that's exactly what I want to talk about. Pau Torres is underrated, yet people wanted Kounde. Again, you could argue we all see things from different lenses, because if you ask 10 football fans or 10 coaches about a single player, you get 10 different interpretations of that, definitions of that player, how they will, also, let me say, how they will prefer using the player. Pau Torres, again, I've read that, says Skriniar and Kimpembe, Gvardio for RCB and LCB, Dumfries and Kostic for competition for James and Chilwell, the young and 2 attackers. I hope we get the young, but it doesn't look like we're going to get them. Maybe we had a gentleman agreement with Barcelona. You never know. But that's why, by the way, I'm going to come back to the panel immediately and go to my brother IBZ. IBZ, help us prioritize here. But before I do that, we have 112 people watching, and we have just 36 likes. Remember, guys, we're shooting for our first 300 likes during the show, and that hasn't happened. If we have 142 votes in the poll already, we should have at least 100 likes in the show. Again, if you haven't liked the video, and like I've always said, I'd rather you not donate your hard-earned cash to the channel. I prefer you liking the videos, you subscribing to the channel, you sharing the stream on whatever social media platform that you have, your presence to help us reach more people. So thank you. Thank you very much. Again, let me quickly see how far I can go with this. I think that it's not too much yet. I think we have a list because then Barcelona cannot buy them all. I think they're probably, they've probably canceled out all the players they have on their shopping list. Pau Torres is a shout if we cannot get Kimpembe. Pau Torres perfect for ball playing. Defensively, I think he's not a player I know that too well. I wouldn't mind Kimpembe also. He's Rudiger 2.0, aggressive and confident. Tuchel wants 3 more signing defenders and attackers. No mention of DM. Good luck. Yeah, that's one thing I'd like us to talk about. I'm going to highlight that so that we can talk about it in a bit. Gvardio and Skriniar, that's the combo you want. And here, Lamlin says, why can't we find out if a player we want is willing to come? Then we don't waste a time. It's not that hard, surely. Probably because of the circumstances we found ourselves in. You could argue we don't have much time, to research that. Again, to research that, to go into the process of finding out whether a player wants to come to us or not. But I get your thinking behind that. If Alonso and Emerson leaves, who are you going to get to compete with Chilwell? Looks like Chilwell needs time to be ready. I want Malaysia, and people thought I was delusional. Again, it doesn't matter who we want. It all comes down to who the manager wants and who we're able to get. Like I knew before time, Chilwell's recovery isn't going to be easy. It's one thing for him to recover from the injury, start training, be fit. But the question remains, are we still going to see the Chilwell that he was before he got injured? That usually rarely happens when a player, when players, get injured and suffer such, horrendous injury, if you want to see it that way, or serious injury, better phrase. 2 more center backs, bye-bye Levi and Ethan. What if Reece and Chilwell gets injured? Good question. Yeah, good question. So coming back to the panel, IBZ, your thoughts on, on which players should we prioritize?
Do we even have the luxury to prioritize anyone? But what we need to get, I feel, probably, seeing as he's got a centre back in already, we're still lacking a centre back. Mm-hmm. It's hard, I'll try and go for both of them. Me, I won't prioritize. I'll go for both Dumfries and Pau Torres, or both Dumfries and Kimpembe, or Skriniar.
Here's the thing. Let's be factual, IBC.
Dumfries has to come in.
There's a chance you want to bring in 2 players at the same time, but it's
why
not
not?
up to you. One might take, there's a chance you'll be able to complete one quicker than the other. So that's why we're asking, if you want to prioritize, we know we want 3 more or 2 more. Which of them would you prioritize and why?
Oh, it's a hard one. I mean, the numbers at centre back are limited. Wait, yeah, it will have to be the centre back, because it's still limited and the numbers are small. So we haven't really replaced maybe Christensen. So that is still lacking. Obviously, we've got the right back. We still have Aspilicueta. So maybe he can, in the meantime, whilst we work for a right wing back or cover for Reece James or his competition, we look into the centre back first so that we know that back line is sorted, and then we worry about the wing back. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I wouldn't want that. We don't have time to prioritize. But if you were to ask me, I think the centre back situation, that back line is crucial. That core back line is crucial. Reece James can hold it down by himself for a bit, if that's how we're gonna go up with that theory. But yeah, I'll get the centre backs in first in that case.
Ty, welcome to the panel, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing alright.
Brilliant. Let's get your opinion. Which of these players would you like us to prioritize? Add Denzel Dumfries to the list because it looks like we're serious about getting him.
I think a centre back is more important of defenders, and I think probably for a similar reason that IBC just said, and I said this in the past as well. Whether or not people rate or rated Christensen, he still played a role in the team. Yes, he may have had his little moments where he would pull out of the squad, but when he did play, he did have some good games. So it's not a case where he's just somebody who, if he leaves, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the squad. The issue is the options that I'm seeing are it's the prices. It becomes an issue, and this is the moment where we start to overspend. I think in that sense, maybe the best option is probably a Skriniar, because I think Skriniar is probably the likeliest to leave. Kimpembe, his future is not set in stone, but there is a feeling that the new manager would keep him. And with Skriniar, there is a likelihood that Inter Milan would want to sell him. And in the past, when you wanted to,
it would take more. It would take more. A huge transfer fee to get them to sell.
Yeah, that's the issue. So that's what I'm saying. That these targets are it has to do with you having to overspend to get them out of the club. But the likeliest to leave is Skriniar. And I mean, earlier in the window when you were trying to offload Lukaku, his name was being mentioned as somebody we could have used in a swap. So I think maybe there was that in itself showed that there was genuine interest. And also Dumfries' name was also being mentioned, but I think the centre back is more important because we need to get in possibly two at least in that role. I mean, unless we'd have to probably rely on one of the loanees that have come back to play a rotational role, to help the squad as well. It's a difficult situation, but I think probably the more ideal option, based on the fact that this player is more likely to leave, I think probably would be Skriniar. But I don't know. I just think that that's probably the likeliest one, because the manager wants to keep Kimpembe, and Kimpembe has no issue staying there, despite reports saying that PSG will be open to selling him. But I think the manager and the player would prefer to stay based on what has been said earlier. And I'm not sure, is Gvardiol's an option as well?
Yeah, Gvardio is Josko Gvardio is an option. I think he's listed there. Let me show you the list. Here's what we have there. We have Pau Torres. We have Skriniar. We have Josko Gvardio. We have Upamecano, and then Pavard.
Okay, so the last two I would not consider them, but it's not what I consider though. I would, yeah. So Josko Gvardio for me, yeah, and somebody just highlighted that Skriniar has 1 year left on his contract, so that means that Inter Milan will be open to selling him, so they can get.
And they probably maybe they believe they can get him to extend his stay. That's probably why.
Didn't they try to open talks and
he wasn't able to strike a deal? Go ahead.
Did they try to extend and he stalled? I think I heard something about him stalling, because I remember.
Hi, what if Lukaku tells him not to go? He tells him, stay here. We'll die on the pitch together.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be that petty and listen.
I think he's a professional. You probably understand Lukaku's case is different.
He's not petty. He wouldn't do that. And plus,
I don't want to be. I wanted something came to mind, but I don't want to say it. That would be very bad of me. But go ahead, Ty.
And even with that, PSG was they had an agreement with him, and the only thing that prevented them from signing him was the price tag, because they didn't want to spend that much on him. So basically, based on that, I think the best option is him. Gvardiol is somebody else that I would consider, but at the same time, it's quite similar to Kimpembe, and he's a younger option. He does have that versatility because RB Leipzig does play him as a left back and as a left centre back. So I think in that sense, it would have brought versatility, but the fact that he came out and said that he wants to stay, he's happy at RB Leipzig and he would stay. To get him out of the club would be difficult because it would mean that we'd have to try to convince him to leave the club, and at the same time convince RB Leipzig to sell him for a price that would be reasonable, which I don't really think they would, because I think the highest price probably would have been maybe 90 million, 80 million, around those lines. So I don't really think that's feasible. So I think, in terms of the last two with Upamecano and Pavard, I'm not really convinced on Upamecano. To me, I think Konate was probably the better option in terms of in the past before he went to Liverpool. And I think probably he was the key partner to Upamecano, because Upamecano has been the same since he joined Bayern Munich. And Pavard is a player that is never consistent. He may have a good game today, and then the next game he has a bad game, and then 2 games after that he has probably 2 good games, and then after that it's not the same. So we need consistency, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Pavard can play as a right back. So you look at him as a competition for Reece James, and I'm not really sure if that's really competitive, because he needs somebody who'll be consistent. And if Reece James is fatigued, if Reece James is suspended, hypothetically, or he's just having some poor games and he needs to be benched for a while so he can probably get a peace of mind or something. We need somebody who will step in and actually have the some quality, and it's not a downgrade as we saw in the situation of Aspie, who is older and he's not really much of a right wing back. So I think maybe the best thing is that we probably look at Skriniar. The price for all these players is all going to be expensive, and that's the most common thing that I've seen, because Upamecano joined Bayern Munich last summer. Pavard, I'm pretty sure Bayern Munich would want to get a good fee off him because they spent a lot on De Ligt. So it would not be reasonable. So I think if these are the options, we're going to have to spend very big on these players if we don't look at cheaper options. So I think maybe the best option for me is Skriniar.
Yep. Thank you very much. I'm going to try and catch up with the chat, and I'll come back to the panel again. If you're watching, please take a second to like the video. We have 134 people watching, and we have 47 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes today. We haven't broken that record. Most is 268 or 280 something. Let's get it to 300 today. Please keep liking the video. I appreciate that support. The Young has said he will only leave Chelsea he will only leave Barcelona for Chelsea. I don't know. Let us know how you knew that. Again, I really do want to know. Again, I think those are all speculations. For instance, in the case of De Ligt, we heard then that he said he really wants to work with Thomas Tuchel. He likes how he trains his defenders and all that, or how he improves players. But again, there's no way to confirm those narratives, or how do I phrase it. Deal CFC says, because Aspie leaving and we lost a really good, we need an experienced defender that had a Champions League experience as well. It makes sense if we get the Skriniar. That's a good argument. Everybody's just stealing my idea. 200 million to spend. No, there's no way. I don't. Again, one of the first things we did when we heard about what the rumored number for the transfer budget was, we did a show here where we asked the question, how many good players can 200 million buy for you? Because there are 2-3 players, good players, that if you go for them, 200 million won't even be close enough to buy the 3 of them. So forget about the transfer budget of a thing. It's absolute nonsense, or fallacy if you prefer. Nobody can come out and say that's really the amount. Again, Boehly going all over the place to organize Dinas, I know. Again, that may well be is a distraction, or maybe he's hired somebody to help facilitate Chelsea's transfer activities. We don't know, so we shouldn't just jump to conclusions. Again, keep liking the video, guys. Keep liking the video. I appreciate all the support. I will be comfortable if we got a Skriniar, because maybe we can change it to back four. Sometimes Skriniar and Koulibaly. Skriniar can also play as an LCB or LCB or RCB in the back three system. He's that good. And again, it's good defenders, Brighton, but Chelsea doesn't have good scouts. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Chelsea, Emerson, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. After all, the reports on how we had done a deal over the weekend on Kounde, I would not believe a word on any reports coming out on players press only throwing out the stories, true or not. Again, that's the truth, and that's the reason why Ty is especially, and everybody on the panel here especially, we've all advised the followers here not to believe everything you read out there. Put them all in a single bucket and tag them, speculations or rumors. Try, break them down. Come to a sensible conclusion. You will live longer actually if you do that. Because don't believe any player has signed for us until that player is holding up the shirt and we get an official statement from the club saying we've signed a particular player. That's when you know it's done. Skriniar has 1 year left, and we should try and push for him. Maybe Inter are reluctant to sell him because possibly, they believe they can get him to put pen on a paper for a new deal. Or maybe this is just me being hopeful or wishful thinking, like Rodrigo would always say, that maybe we have an agreement in place with Inter Milan after the Lukaku deal that we're going to come for him or something like that. I don't know. That just doesn't make sense. But I'm trying to find a way to console myself on how things are going in the transfer window for Chelsea Football Club. PSG couldn't buy Skriniar because of price. Y'all think we can? I think we can. If we really want him, I think we can. And given the fact that he is a utility player, he can play on the left, on the right, in multiple positions. He can in multiple formations. I think we should get him. Again, Skriniar has 1 year left, but he still wants too much cash because they understand the player is good enough. Deals, you want Chelsea to pay 75 million for him. How old is he actually? If you're trying to let me know, how old is Skriniar?
I think he's maybe 26 or 27. I'll have to probably check.
Oh, 26
I think he's more
27.
than 25 though.
Okay, I see. Again, says people complaining about paying Kounde's release clause. How much is Kounde's release clause again? Let's actually talk about it. Big up, brother. My brother,
80 million euros. 80 million euros, which
80 million. I don't think we'll pay that. Maybe that was probably why. What's the name? Sevilla thinks maybe they thought they'd get us to pay that amount, but they've seen that it's not possible. If you ask me, I'd say maybe that's what they pushed to see if they get us to be that desperate enough, because they know we're desperate no matter how you see it, and they've shown us that they try, to kick us when we're down. Given the Zuma to West Ham United scenario, they learned that we had sold Zuma to West Ham United, and then they changed the price that we had already agreed for, and even I think they're gonna sell him for less now. So I don't think they've learned their lesson. If we pull out, as we're hearing, if in fact we're pulling out of the deal as we're hearing we're doing, they're selling for less to Barcelona also. So it's something, I don't know why they're behaving like that. But that's, by the way, again, it's the reason why I don't want a Gvardiol. How would Colwell feel getting a player on his semi-age? I think we've argued that here also. I think it wouldn't make sense for us to do that. Again, if you're watching, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for all your support. We sincerely do appreciate that. Again, keep liking the video. If we have 185 votes on the poll, we should have at least 100 likes. Again, we're shooting for 300 likes, so keep liking the video as you come in. Ty, I'm going to come back to you quickly and ask you this question. We're hearing, again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom because we're switching topics right now. I'll try to scroll through it one by one. We're hearing that, again, let me try and find that before we talk about it. Again, I think we've moved beyond talking about why we didn't sign Kounde. Yep, we're serious about Denzel Dumfries. I want to get your thoughts on that. Is he a player you want at Chelsea, and do you think it's good enough to provide that competition we've always clamored for Reece James in terms of the right wing back position?
The issue for me that with him is that I haven't really seen him being consistent. I was impressed with him when I was watching a couple games when he was at PSV, and I was seeing a good play there, but the feeling that I always had, and even when he had, I think, was scouting for Chelsea back, I don't remember who scouted him for that particular episode. I had commented saying that the issue that I see is that he's coming from the Dutch league, where that it takes a time for you to adjust to a different league. Yes, Serie A is completely different from the Premier League, but in Serie A you have you have teams playing in a different way. You're not being approached in the same way. The Dutch, I'm not saying the Dutch league is easier, but the Dutch league it's quite similar to the situation where you have a lot of space in some games, where you have the time to make your next decision. You have the freedom to, if you want to cut it onto your right foot so that you can make a cross in and things like that. You have some amount of time to decide that. So my concern with him was always that we've seen what's happened with Ziyech, where it's taking him the issue of having to adjust to a more progressive league, where you're pressed by a lot of teams, and you may face some teams that may sit deep and try to defend deep to prevent you. But a lot of the teams, they will try to press you, try to get you to make mistakes, and then pounce on your mistake, or probably make you force you to make a bad pass, and then they counter attack you. So my concern is that would he have been ideal? Now I've seen a couple of Inter Milan games. He has scored some goals for them. He has done some defensive work for them, but at the same time, he has made a lot of mistakes. And for me, Reece James does make his little mistakes as well. He's not perfect. He's still learning. And I mean, I think Dumfries is significantly, I think probably 4 years older than him, or 5. I don't remember his age, but I do think that with Dumfries there's this mistake that even for his age, it's something that is very costly in a team, and we've seen that we've considered a lot of goals due to mistakes. And my concern is that I don't want us to be getting a player that we want to be competing with Reece James to push him to the next level, and you probably in one game he has a good game, and in the next game you may see him make another mistake. You need some level of consistency. I'm not saying I'm expecting that player to be perfect, but when the mistakes that is being made are rash ones, or ones that can be easily avoidable, I'm not really sure if that's really a risk to take. But I mean, if the club is supposedly or reportedly prioritizing him now, which I don't really know if that is the case. I don't know what I can say. Basically, I think there's a good player in him, but those mistakes it's very difficult to look past them, and especially when those mistakes are ones that are avoidable. So I'm not really sure, but I do think there's a good player in Dumfries, and if we do go for him, then I probably have to accept that that's the case.
Yeah, and while I'm with you, before I go back to IBZ, and again, if you're in the chat, if you have asked the link, I've sent it to you, and I want to say thank you to 132 people watching. And again, we're shooting for 300 likes today. I'm sure enjoying the show. Please keep liking the video, and thank you very much. For sure, the love you've shown the channel so far. You're the reason why the channel is growing so fast. I cannot thank you enough for all the support you've shown. Ty, here's the thing. I want you to talk about this suggestion from Adam Newson, and it makes sense because Thomas Tuchel, he on occasions have played what's his name? He on occasions have played Reece James in the right centre back position, And now he's saying, in my opinion, which you are free to disagree with, as always, the logical reason for spending money on Denzel Dumfries is if we if Reece James is going to be used as a right centre back up there. I think it makes sense. That being said, using James at RCB is a waste of many of his attacking talent. This part is important, but I want you to look at to consider this aspect of this tweet here. That may well be the case because Thomas Tuchel likes to play Reece James there, and there's a chance he's not just going for Reece James just to play him, in this position. That's a chance he's not going for Dumfries to play Reece James in the RCB position. That's a chance he's bringing Dumfries in case if James plays there, then we have another player who can also execute the Reece James role. That's why this aspect of this comment can be wrong. But go ahead, I want to get your thoughts, Ty.
Yeah, the logic that Adam Newsom is using, it's valid because it's a case where if we're not able to find a competent player or rather alternative to Kounde for that right in the back role, we've seen, like you said, I think probably for the half season and for the season that Tuchel had, that he's used James there on an occasion. Sometimes in game he switches it up. If he brings on Aspie's further forward and he's the one deep. And for me, I've always found that to be wasteful because when you use somebody like Reece James, who over the years has improved that offensive side of his game, crossing and aspects like that, it's difficult because although in his system, or rather his approach, it appears that you have the right centre back sometimes being further forward as like a second fullback. So it's like you use a 4-4-2 where you have a right mid, which would rather in this case be the right wing back, and then you have the right centre back playing as a right back, and then be progressing the ball forward. The concern is when you play with a right centre back, the right centre back has to be the one that's deeper and has to be behind the right wing back. So the case is that if he plays him there, we're not going to be able to see Reece James make those key passes that he tries to make, and sometimes it pays off, and maybe the attack probably doesn't really help him to get the assist that he may want. But for me, if I'm not really sure if that probably would be the case, because we do need competition for Reece James. The only concern is that if we're prioritizing Dumfries, maybe he's the competition for Reece James, but at the same time, if everything else fails in terms again in a right centre back, we could probably utilize him there. My assumption though is that I think it was against what was it, Charlotte? He was playing as, or was he Charlotte? Yeah, it was Charlotte when James was playing as a right centre back. I was using the assumption that, well, obviously Kounde looks slim, but is it a case where he would be utilizing or probably to see what James can do there, so that he can prepare himself for when the profile probably has to change now for if a Dumfries comes in, that we can see what he can do. He can be better prepared for when he has to do that. But the positive is, and I'm not really sure because I don't remember. Dumfries is not a player who can play as a right centre back, right?
I haven't seen him play there.
Wing back, right back is your Dumfries.
Yeah, wing back, right back. Yeah,
wing back.
Okay, so that in itself would diffuse an assumption, any other assumption that you switch it in game where you have Dumfries playing as a right centre back, which would be the opposite in the case of a Kounde. So I think in that sense, maybe it's probably both, because sometimes you may, depending on the demand, and without the probably signing a right centre back, the need for a right centre back is key, because I'm not really sure if Tuchel just and I always said this, just acts the back three system just like that, or formation just for a back four without getting the ideal personalities that he needs to make it work properly. So I think maybe the plan is probably to use James there in some games, and if there is no possibility of getting a right centre back in, we could see Reece James being utilized there in some games, because we do have players still at the club who can play as a right centre back. So it's not impossible. Koulibaly can play as a right centre back because he is right-footed after all, and that means that he'd be on a comfortable field as well. So I think in that sense, it could be a case where we do that, but at the same time, we need competition for Reece James. And based on the offensive side, Dumfries offers that. The defensive side is probably my concern. So maybe it is probably the ideal option is that if Dumfries is not able to come in and add that defensive side like James has a perfect balance to, maybe we probably see, and this is just an assumption again, where Conte utilized not Dumfries, Moses as a right wing back, and then you had Aspie covering him defensively. So maybe you had you may have James being the defensive one, and Dumfries may focus on trying to add creativity and add more attacking output to his game and probably add to the attack. So maybe that is the plan, but at the same time, competition is key for James, so it could be vice versa. But I think probably the plan is to utilize James as a right centre back in if there is no other possibility of getting a right centre back in.
That's a very good argument. I'm going to quickly catch up with the chat. I'm going to say welcome to the panel, my brother Matt Zivo, you from Zivo YouTube channel. Thank you, bro, for finding time to join, even though you just ended your stream. But it was nice to see how we're growing together. We're like family here again, and I appreciate you finding time to join here. How are you doing, Matt?
All good, coach. Be up to Ty and I hope you said as well. Hope everyone's well as well. Yeah, obviously same news, different day. Just
and are you and IBC following each other?
No, you haven't. You know, seen the link in the I think he came past on the stream a couple of days ago. But
maybe you wasn't on the panel when he was asking to connect with everybody. He wants also to join the panel.
Let me put your thing in the private chat now. I'll start following from now on. Let me just do it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me. Yeah, do it from now.
And Ty, he's following you, right?
Put yours, Ty, as well, please, because I saw it.
Yeah, I think Ty wasn't here the day you asked for it. So, but that's by the way. I'm going to try to catch up with the chat, and I'll come back to the panel. And here, Sri Kumar, my brother, says what is clear is that the young wants a guaranteed Champions League football. That was why he rejected his old mentor Ten Hag. Again, that may well be the argument, but I think he can still lure him. It depends on how much they're willing to pay up for him. Again, it says, okay, let's see again. There's something totally interesting I saw on my screen that I wanted us to talk about. Okay, we need, it says it's on news now about the young. Can you elaborate what's on news now about the young? I want to know. We need a striker like Victor Osimhen. Again, this seems like, these are my Nigerian brothers suggesting, a brother they love so much for the club. As much as I love Osimhen, I would not for any reason want him to come to Chelsea, especially under Thomas Tuchel. Again, I will repeat myself. He will frustrate the life out of him. And Osimhen doesn't look like he's able to play on the flanks as much as I like him. He's powerful, he's quick, and you could argue he's also technically gifted. But I don't think he'd be able to fit in the way the manager wants to play. True, we cannot do all that at once, but do the basic. Even Arsenal, Tottenham are signing at least 6 players. I think we'll still sign much more players, but I don't think they will come in. Many of them will not start again the season with us. And again, one thing I remember Liam Lane said here in the chat is by the time the transfer window shuts, there's a chance we have an almost entirely new 11. But maybe let me just phrase it correctly and not misquote him. A lot of changes would have taken place, in the team. But that's, by the way, it says Inter wants around £59 million for who? For Dumfries, or I don't think Dumfries is around 40. I'm not sure, but be specific. Felix, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Again, I'm going to try to scroll to the very bottom. So whatever we're talking about here is aligned with the current topic. So please, apologies if I skipped your comments. And big up to the Queen of the House, of which I cannot skip your comment, your input. I hope you're doing it well. Again, thank you for finding the time to join us here. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It says Skriniar is the best option for Chelsea. He is even way more better than Kounde, more physical, you could argue, but ball carrying is what makes Kounde very unique. And again, we'll see what happens. Thank you very much for that suggestion there. I'm going to skip quite a few of these things to get to the very bottom, so we whatever we're talking about is aligned with the current topic. Now, coming to you, I don't know, IBZ, if before I go to Matt, if you talked about that, this suggestion from Adam Newson on the screen, it looks like that may well be the case. Maybe if we bring in Dumfries, that it could be a temporary thing, just because we haven't brought in all the signings that the manager is looking for. I don't think the plan may well be for it to be permanently like that, because I know Thomas Tuchel himself understands fully well the abilities of Reece James, in the attacking area, in helping us, attack the opposition team. But that's, by the way, if you're watching now, we have 131 people watching, just 66 likes. We're shooting for 300 likes, and already the poll has 225 votes, which we should have at least 100 likes. If you have time to participate in the poll, please take a second to like the videos, to help us to like the video to help us reach more people. So thank you for all the support. So IBZ, your thoughts? Do you think that may well be the plan?
No, maybe, but not. No. I don't think Tuchel's.
What if it is? What do you think?
Yeah, then it is what it is, because he can play there. And if Tuchel sees fit, it's because obviously Tuchel's constraint in not getting the numbers he wants at centre back. It's obvious. If he's not getting the right numbers that he wanted at centre back,
then
he might have to makeshift one person into the position to make the numbers up. Then obviously Dumfries. Then who's covering for Dumfries? So obviously if Dumfries comes in, then that makes Dumfries the more or less cemented first starter on that right back position if Reece James is going to be playing right centre back. So it will be Reece James and Dumfries, and or if he's rotating it and he's got enough centre backs for that game, he might just put Reece James at right back. But it could be true what this guy's forecasting. I don't see it not being true, and we might see it. We might do waste of his attacking options, attacking talent. Yeah, but it's not the fault of Tuchel if he's going to have to makeshift the player who's competent at that position to play there, even if it's going to limit his attacking talent. I mean, it is what it is. It's unfortunate that Tuchel has to do it, and Tuchel's a man that understands talent. He understands the psychology of talent, expressing yourself. So I don't think it's something he'll want to do. I mean, I don't think he'll probably do it something in the long run. Maybe just to accommodate the situation he finds himself right now. He's a very good eye for talent, man. And if he sees someone like Reece James, absolutely, I think Reece James, he can play that Kimmich role. That's me. That's my opinion. He can play right back and he can play centre midfield. Trust me. That's just my opinion.
There's a chance he's planning to play him as a DM, because he played as a DM.
I'm not saying that's the truth. That is what I.
No, I'm just bringing in another angle to that suggestion.
Yeah. Now, I believe he's got the capabilities, to play right back. That Kimmich right back to centre mid role. Even Trent Alexander-Arnold can do that. I think Reece James has got in his locker. So having him at centre back, I can't understand the concern that the tweet says, limiting his attacking talent. So I understand that, but it is what it is, man. We ain't got the luxury. We Chelsea fans need to wake up and have a realization. We ain't got the luxury to pick and choose. We ain't got the luxury to prioritize. Hell, whoever's coming to say that they want to come, we have to put money on it ASAP. We ain't got luxury to do, I want this guy, but if this guy don't work, I want that guy. We haven't got that luxury. So as Chelsea fans, we need to wake up and smell the wood that's burning and know that we're not big boys like that to be saying, prioritize this one and that. We get what we get, and we have to pick up with all our hands, because we are like Boss said in it, we are not ready. So that's it.
Yeah, again, thank you very much for that input. Let me quickly catch up with the chat, and I'll come to my brother Matt. Here is easy twist. Now I'm going to use your name for this. He says, don't buy it until the club makes it official, especially this summer, because there's a chance there will be an easy twist. But I appreciate your name is so sweet. I like it, but it makes sense. A very good argument there. Thank you very much again. If you're watching, keep liking the videos, guys. The video, guys. We have 136 people watching, and we have just 68 likes. Please keep liking the video to help us reach more people. And thank you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That says, hello, how are you doing? Albert Bayigamba, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel, and please do subscribe if you haven't. The collectors for this, what is angering you about fans? Maybe they want to quickly sort out a backline to address other areas since only 2 weeks remaining. There's a chance that's the case, but I think Chelsea should be able, if they don't have enough resources at the club at this point, they should be able to hire people, you could say on a freelance level or on an expatriate level to help them execute their transfer plans. Again, Todd Boehly, he didn't become a billionaire by being stupid. In most cases, the simplest, formula to being successful is not, you doing everything yourself. You delegate. If you delegate, you see you'll be even more successful. You delegate to those who are experts in that area where you're not an expert in. You see better result than trying to do everything yourself. So I think he's smart enough to know if he delegates the role, the results will come in. He's smart enough, he's rich enough, the club has enough resources to get enough people to help them, facilitate the signings of these players. Again, ask me for an idea. I say, delegate people, talk. You start negotiating for us in that aspect. You on that aspect. When it comes to the final fee, reach out and I'll let you know if we're willing to pay that amount or nothing. Again, that's me suggesting to them. Chelsea have made a move for Dumfries. Yep.
I'm actually
Chelsea all the way.
I'm actually excited for that one. That Dumfries. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know. I
am. He's the player I like.
I think he's hardworking.
He's a fine player, and I think he will fit in well. His pace, his power, and his ability to take on players. And I think I made a video actually with Tyrone, my friend and brother, regarding why we should sign him then, but he ended up going to Inter Milan. We're about to lose out on Kounde, and Chelsea have alternatives. Our fans are crying. Again, I wouldn't. I was pissed that we're going to miss out on him because he's a player I liked, but we move. It's as simple as that. I tried 10 days and not 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, Dumfries is a good player and knows our system very well. He's playing the same system at Inter Milan. But what you have to consider is the application. I think you're talking about formation, but you have to consider the application. And I think what True Blue is talking about here is how many days, correct me if I'm wrong, we have before the season starts. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what you're referring to. Again, says Reece James got injured last season and struggled. I don't want to see that happen again. We need a competition for him. Players should be capable of coming into play whenever either he's injured or tired or to rotate, so to keep him, fresh and ready to go every time we want him on the pitch. He can't play every game, for Christ's sake. He's a human being. What happens if he gets injured? But that's, by the way, Chelsea are negotiating after Skriniar and Dumfries. I think we've heard that before. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then come back. 9 days to sign and register virtually. No new signings will start at Everton. Oh, okay. So again, now I get it. Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate you educating us on how that is done. 9 days to sign and register. Pay attention to that. Good morning, Kuchula. Still pissed after coming back from Orlando. Yeah, I understand. I understand how you feel, brother. But calm down. I think we'll be fine. Even I think we will win our first game. It's going to be difficult. And again, for the fact that we struggled against Everton towards the end of the season, I think Thomas Tuchel must have learned a thing or two from how Lampard likes to approach the game. Tony 2454 says, I don't think Milan Skriniar would want to sign for Chelsea after with again. No, he's a professional. If you're gonna push me, I'd say probably he knows why Lukaku didn't work at Chelsea. It depends on the approach of the manager and all of the factors. I don't think these players, they're not that petty. He'd be stupid not to take, an increase in wages and again the chance to win Champions League. I think that they made it. Did Inter make it to the the Champions League this past season. I'm not sure. You're doing a great job, bro. I want Chelsea to go all out for Josko, Gvardio,
Yesterday they got second
Junior.
place.
Sorry?
Inter Milan got second place, I think.
So they they participate in the Champions League. He needs to get a CB now, though he shouldn't leave it for later. I get the argument. I'm going to get to the very bottom, and I'll come to my brother, Matt. Matt, your thoughts on, first let me bring you up to part to where we were. But before where we are, so to speak, before Matt starts to speak, please, help us reach 300 likes today. We haven't gotten to 300 likes. The most during these shows, the past shows has been 280, I think 290, but 200 plus. Let's shoot for 300 likes today. Please help us get there. We need just 24 more likes to get to 100, and we'll have 200 left. Matt, coming to you, your thoughts on who to prioritize. We'll link it to Gvardiol, Pavard, Pau Torres, who can I think there's more, and also Dumfries, Skriniar. So given the situation and given that Aspilicueta will be leaving most definitely because he's pushing for it, which of these players do you think we should prioritize and why?
I mean, the number one player who should be coming to the Blues is Jules Kounde. He is the best player on the market as a centre back.
Mr. Kounde.
He's the best player. Jules Kounde will always be a Blue in my heart. He's going to a broke club.
Matt is heartbroken.
I swear.
Jules
I remember last week when Matt was like, "Calm down, guys. It's 90%, 96% done, guys. Guys, it's done." I was like, Matt, bruh. We here now.
But let's look logically, man. We put the higher bid in. Come on, anyway, the deal's not done yet. There's always a chance. Our offer's still there, but we're not progressing.
You still think there's still a chance?
There's still a chance. There's still a chance.
If we get Kounde, it's because of Matt. If we get Kounde, it's because of Matt.
Yes, Matt, he did the math.
He's probably praying and fasting for it to happen. He really likes the guy that much.
I swear.
Matt, go ahead. I'm for your faith. Again, but go ahead, brother. Which of these players do you think we should prioritize?
I mean, next on my list will be Kimpembe. I think, Skriniar is great. Dumfries is a right wing back. That means we're going to force Reece James into a right centre back. I'm not for that. I don't want him to go there. That's not his position.
How about forcing Reece James into defensive midfielder temporarily? Depends on the game.
No. His position is a right wing back. He stays right wing back. I don't want to. We can play him here and there, stadium. I don't care. But his main position is a right wing back. I'm all for Dumfries. I don't care. Sign the guy. I don't care. But I want to prioritize the centre back roles. Kounde is not happening. If it isn't, whatever. Kimpembe needs to come. Skriniar. I'm all for Skriniar. Pau Torres. I'm not.
Just pick one. Pick one and explain to us.
Kimpembe.
Because we need. The question is now the Premier League. Even though we're not able to sign them, at least getting one as soon as possible and then keep working on the others. Which of them would you pick?
I would pick Kimpembe. Kimpembe is a player I
explain
like
to us
because
why.
of his a player is alive because I like his aggression, and I've been saying since nearly Sarri days, since Diego Costa left, we have no aggression in our team.
Solve for us immediately that we have.
What was that?
What problem would Kimpembe solve for us? And that is immediately if he comes in. That's the problems we have right now. Remember, we're losing Aspi. It's looking definite, and again, the only player that can play in that position, that's in the right back position, and in right wing back position is Reece James. So you think you should prioritize Kimpembe? Remember, we have Levi Colwell. He's still at the club. He can play on the left hand side while we work on Kimpembe, and Koulibaly can play on the left hand side alongside Thiago Silva. But explain why you think we should prioritize Kimpembe over other targets. That doesn't mean we're forfeiting other targets. That's just we prioritizing. Okay, who will come in immediately and help us reduce, the extent of the problem we have right now.
I mean, Levi Colwill, guys, come on. This guy's not a starter. He must be replaced. Kimpembe is a player I want. And I use this example every single time now because it proves my point every single time. We need aggression. We need warriors. We need players who are scary. It seems like such a pity point, not useful, but I find this very useful. I just saw Reece James and Tavares. They had a bit of a brawl, right? Tavares pushes James. James pushes Tavares back. What I saw from there, I saw Odegaard, I saw Partey, Xhaka, all come towards Reece James, and there's 4-1 against Reece James, and no one single player comes and backs Reece James, and I hate that in football. I hate that. I want players who are aggressive, who are warriors, especially my centre backs. I want players backing our players. Kimpembe is an aggressive player. He puts his body on the line for a ball. Yeah, he may make mistakes here and there, but we've got a balanced back three. We've got Kimpembe, we've got Thiago Silva, we've got Koulibaly. I want Kimpembe
Let me
to
say
take those
something
risks.
quickly, Matt. Let me say something quickly. I am not in any way against us signing Kimpembe. I'm just prioritizing where should we go first to help us solve the problems we have, the most pressing need we have at the club, while we work on Kimpembe and other targets. So you understand my question, but go ahead.
What do you mean? So Kimpembe, and then the next you want to give another example?
No. I just gave you an example, and that's we know if we want all of them, whichever one would you go for first? But go ahead, what you're explaining about Kimpembe.
Well, so I'll go for Kimpembe first because first we're going to fill the centre back spots. We need 2 more centre backs to even discuss other roles. We still need 2 more centre backs, and I say Kimpembe is an aggressive player. We are a soft team. People say we got Chelsea. I just saw a poll right now. Someone did it on Instagram, and they go, "Will Chelsea fit outside the top 4?" And there is 70% that said yes. And because we're a soft team, we're not a scary team. We're going to get scary players. We're going to get warriors. We're going to get people that other players are scared to play against. Look at John McGinn. He's garbage. But people are scared to dive into tackles with him because they know if they dive in, he might take him out. I'm not wanting a John McGinn who's shit, but I want a player who's good and who's scary. And that's the Kimpembe. He's aggressive. He's not going to shy away from a tackle like Timo Werner did. And you know who I'm going to say, Christina. Get that scum out of my club because he ain't nothing compared to someone like Kimpembe because that's what we need. We need a real warrior. This is not netball. This is football. We need to start being scary because we've lost Rudiger, our only person who did that, and he wasn't like that. He was there, but he wasn't always there. This is double what Rudiger was, and we need to see this more because we are a soft team, and we need to start go from boys and become men because we are not playing like men on and off the pitch. We are shocking. Half our players want to leave. So I would say Kimpembe to improve our centre back role because we got to get numbers in our centre back. That's our first starting, and then we can move on to whatever's next. I don't know, man.
That Reece James rock, yeah, he handled it okay, in my opinion. Xhaka tried to come to him and give him some eye. He pushed Xhaka out the way. Xhaka tried to talk to him, said, "No, you can't even chat to man. He just."
I love Reece James, man.
So Reece James, I think he held that. Like, he didn't get on tops for him. Like, he handled that properly, innit? Tavares tried to Xhaka tried to come and do what Xhaka does, and we pushed him out of the way. Like, get out of there, bro. Like, no, this ain't the one. Like, no. I think even Reece James was trying to tell him, like, bro, don't get excited. Like, don't get excited. It's not the match is not that deep. You're just here to get fitness in it. Like, relax your skin, play your football in it. Like, and I like the way you handle that. I understand when you say when like no one really came in. Well, I'd like maybe in a Premier League match you would see it different in it. Like in a Premier League game, you'll probably see it different as opposed to like a hot day in America. Like, really, who's got time to beat my North London rivals in America, bro? I'll buck you in Emirates or the bridge in it. We'll get it cracking over here where there's, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fight you here to entertain the American fans, brother. No, there's no clout in this, so it will just look stupid. So I understand that though, but I think we do need some aggressors to come and say what, like none of that rubbish, none of that. True.
We need players to not also be aggressive, but to also stand up and stand out. Like lead the team.
I think Malang Sarr would do that as well.
There.
I see Malang Sarr when he got onto Werner when he just that tackle, and then Tuchel told him, "Relax, calm down, don't worry, don't talk, don't just leave him."
Who did that? Malang Sarr.
Malang Sarr was pissed.
Here's the thing. Even though I don't want us to talk about Milan Sarr, I think that kid, in terms of aggression, in terms of his ability to fight for his teammates, in terms of a player fighting for his teammates, better phrase, I think he has that spirit in him.
He has the spirit.
You can't bully him. He will fight you.
Werner gave him stupid pass. And he gave Werner kind of a pass in it. Werner just watched the ball go out. And then he just started switching at him like, "What are you doing? Like, what the hell? Where's your commitment? Where's your desire?" Which was evident from the whole game. Tuchel see it from obviously his side. Tuchel said, "Don't worry, just forget, like take it and like rub your chest with it. Like, don't vex at the guy. The guy don't want to be here. You get me? Like, the guy don't want to be here. Don't waste your energy on him. And that goes to show that people like Milan are understanding that, brother, what the hell are you doing? Cuz man gave you a pass, you're doing it. Get the hell out. It's sad for Timo because I really like the guy. Really, really.
Yeah,
really.
you could argue actually that the reason Thomas Tuchel will keep size because of his commitment and his, that aggression. I think the player over time will be polished, but I don't want to go into that argument right now. Matt, another thing I want to ask you, I don't know if you've talked about that already, is this here actually, from Adam Newson, his suggestion here. Can you say the screen?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it says, in my opinion, which you're free to forget about that aspect, the logical reason for spending money on Dumfries is if Rich James is going to be used at RCB. Have you talked about that?
No. But and Adam Newson says it there. That's being said, using James as right centre back is a waste of many of his attacking talents. I would not play Reece James as a right centre back if it's not needed. Why go sign? I'm all for signing Dumfries, but that does not mean we don't need to sign a centre back. We still need to sign a centre back.
Oh yeah, now I just got Matt going. He's always arguing Reece James don't need competition, but go ahead.
No, he needs competition. But I'm not going to force Reece James to go as a right centre back. I don't care if it's Dumfries, whoever the guy is. Dumfries can go as a right centre back. Reece James' best ability is as a right wing back. I would rather get Kimpembe and then bring in Skriniar to play right centre back and then go for a Dumfries, because remember, we still need more players. We don't just need 2 more attackers. We need 2 more attackers, a wing backer, and an attacker in general. So we still need 4 to 5 more players. Are we going to get them all this summer? Absolutely not, because we can't attract anyone because we have no pool. So Dumfries, yeah, that's the bar minimum. That should be an easy sign to get, but it's not enough. It's barely enough. It doesn't solve anything. That's not priority. We need to get and fill up our centre back spots.
Here's why I think we should prioritize. That is, if we're to sign one of them first before working on the others, I think it should be a Skriniar. Why do I say that? Because Skriniar in the back three, he's able to play on the left, on the right. He's able also to play also as right wing, the right wing back position, the left wing back position. So now we're going into the season. We're practically going into the season with only one right back and one right wing back. Because Dujan is able to play there. No, I'm not sure who. I think we've let the kid who's capable of playing in that position go. So why risk it? I think that's why I say we should prioritize signing Skriniar, because he's such a utility player and he executes those roles very well. Because when Bastoni got injured for Inter, he was able to play on the left-hand side and he executed the role very well. That's why I say, if you ask me my opinion, I think we should prioritize the signing of a Skriniar over all the defensive targets, because that doesn't mean we're going to forfeit all the defensive targets. But right now, he solves so many problems for us. If we're short on the left-hand side, he can play there. If we're short on the right-hand side, he can play there. I don't know. Do you get my argument now, Matt?
Yeah, so I would sign him, and then I would sign another centre back as well. I don't mind a Skriniar, Gvardiol, whatever his name is, or a Kimpembe. I don't mind any of those 3, but we need 2 of those 3. But Skriniar, I would say, is maybe a B list signing. Kimpembe's a B. Gvardiol's a B. We're missing out on the A list. We missed out on De Ligt and Kounde. A list at defenders, and we lost them. We lost Kounde to a bro club. Everyone knows the story. I'm not going to get into it. So I'm all for it, because at the moment, beggars can't be choosers. At this moment, I will take anyone. I don't want Declan Rice, but I will take Declan Rice because we can't choose anymore. We're not in the position. We're not a top club to be choosing this, man.
We're desperate right now.
We are a mid-table club right now. We are acting like a mid-table club that can't pull players. We're in Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they don't come every window and go, I want this guy, this guy, this guy. They go, whoever comes. If I'm going to like the player, I'm going to experiment, then I'm going to go for high hopes. We're supposed to be a club that goes for high hopes, but we are not. We're a mid-table club dragging in these players, and I would take anyone that'd be linked to us, because the only players we can sign are players that no one else even wants. Koulibaly, Sterling, I'm not saying they're bad players, but no other team wanted them. So it is easier to sign those players and then to battle a bro club or PSG for like the other guy and compete with teams to sign their players, because we're not going to win. We're not going to win.
Mm-hmm. Again, thank you very much for that, Matt. Before I come back to the panel again, I'm gonna try and catch up with the chat. And while I do that, please, while you are we have 169 people watching, and we have 81 likes. We need 90 more to get to 100, and we have 200 left to get to our target, which is 300 likes a day. Please help us reach 300 likes. The poll has 298 votes, which means we should do better than the likes. If you took a second to participate in the poll, please take a second to also like the video to help us reach more people. Sorry, thank you again for all the support. I'm going to try to catch up with the chat again. I says I hope we get Torres over Kimpembe. Again, that's your choice. Everything comes down to what the manager wants. We should refuse to sell Aspi and Alonso unless it's a swap deal for De Jong. It will never be a swap deal. Those guys, De Jong is much more younger, plus more valuable than the two players you've mentioned. So it's going to be a difficult one to. It's going to be, if that's going to happen, it will be plus cash, and I don't know how much exactly we're going to add to it to make it work. Again, PJ, nice to see you. Matt, it's because Kepa is going.
We're going to lose Kepa. We're going to lose.
The Kepa case is something
Kepa,
we'll talk
Kounde.
about.
We're going to lose everyone else, man. We've lost Kepa.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
Tuchel,
the Black Brothers need a better microphone. Who are you talking to? Do you think I need a better microphone? Me? How does my microphone sound, Mike?
It's been cracking out a bit here and there.
Oh, okay. We'll see. I think probably because this is plugged in. Maybe me. Okay, I understand. Let me see if that stops. May have been my fault. So thank you for pointing out that. I'll see what I can do. I wouldn't get your hopes up on Aspi going. If Kounde goes to Barca, Chelsea have stated they will block any moves from Aspi. And also Alonso, I think it makes sense because why would we lose Aspi except if we're able to get in new players? But that will be Petty. I think. I don't know. Again, that brings me back to the question: what in the freaking world did Todd Boehly travel from the U.S. on his private jet to Spain to discuss with Laporta? And probably he paid for the meal. But that's why I don't want to talk about that right now because I'm going to get pissed even more. Why are you guys getting excited by these flops? Dumfries? I wouldn't call him flop. I think he's good enough. Maybe he's not in the best. He's not in the best club to for him to be that allows him the independence to express himself and show what a player he can be. Ideally, I want Skriniar as he is his RCB Gvardiol, where he can use Koulibaly as CB to give Thiago some rest. And Koulibaly can also play on the left-hand side and even on the right. Okay, I cannot share because I'm not on mod with that account. Okay, we'll see. I'll take care of that in a bit. Kimpembe, and I'm going to scroll for the coolest. I have 80 London videos as a tourist on my channel, Phantom of Many Topics. Yes, please, if you haven't, go check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe. Levi Colwell has been described as the next Gentari because of his aggression. Again, I think we should keep that kid. I think, and then the good thing I'm hearing is that he's not pushing to leave the club. Kimpembe is a good defender. I just prefer others. That's the truth. Again, let me see if there's anything else to talk about here. Christensen has gone. The language is unnecessary. Matt, that's to you.
I lost 4-0,
and you're worrying about RJ throwing people around. I think he's making a point with that. Prashantin says, okay, he's talking about True Blue. Let me see if there's anything else to address here. Werner needs to leave. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let me see. Okay, you found a way to share the link to your channel. So thank you very much. Again, we have 172 people watching and we have 96 likes. Just four more to get to 100. Then we know we need just 200 more to get to our target, which is 300 likes. So please keep liking the video and thank you. And again, I'm going to say this and I truly do mean it. You don't have to donate to the channel. All we ask of you is just like the videos, subscribe if you haven't to help us reach more people. Thank you. Thank you for all the support. We sincerely do appreciate that. There are other ways the channel can make money. Now, again, I'm going to come back to the panel and I will scroll to the very bottom. Apologies if I miss your input there. Let's talk about Skriniar. He has 1 year left on his contract and Inter rejected a bid. Inter rejected a bid from Paris St-Germain. Ty, what does that tell you? Does that mean they don't want to sell, or do you think it's maybe they want more money, or do you think it's because they think the player they'd be able to get them to put pen to paper for another contract, but that hasn't happened. To me, it just means that maybe they need more money, and we can get him, and it's good enough to pay that much, to pay at least 65 for him. Ty, have we lost you, man?
Yeah,
You can go ahead. It looks
here.
like Ty isn't there.
I'm
No,
here,
go ahead,
sir.
Ty.
I'm
We
here.
can't hear you. Okay, go ahead,
I'm
bro.
here. I muted because you're still asking the question, so I didn't want the feedback.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Skriniar, I think there was a case where they had offered him an extension and he rejected it. I'm not sure. I was seeing things that was the case, and that is why they were open to selling him. The narrative that I'm hearing in terms of PSG is that it was rejected. It was rejected, and they didn't want to go any further with in terms of bidding for him because they didn't think the valuation was valid. And they thought that they could probably go on to other options, and then after that they turned their sights to the new sign that they made from RB Leipzig. So I think in that sense, it's not a case where he's not for sale, because I always say if you put a price on someone, or I don't want to say that because that sounds wrong. If you put a price on a player, it means that they're for sale. If you put a price on anything, that means that you have a valuation for it, and that means that if somebody wants it and you have given a price, they can get it because it's for sale. You don't put a price on something that you're not willing to sell. So in that sense, I see it as a fact that he is up for sale, and in that case, if we can find some compromise with them to get a reasonable price agreed, maybe we could go for him. The situation is that I'm not really sure if he's willing to extend it. It could, because we've seen what happened in this football world where players who look like they're on the way out just happen to just sign a new contract. So I wouldn't be surprised by it. But right now, I think he has 1 year left on his contract. He's not willing to extend at the minute. And the narrative right now is that PSG could not really go out and offer the price that was being quoted for him. So they pulled out. So that gives us leeway to go in and try to make an offer, try to negotiate with Inter, and probably try to approach him. So I think it's a case where we could get him if the price is right, and if Inter are willing to be reasonable, and we can find a worthy price for him.
Matt, what do you think?
I mean, Skriniar, yeah. I mean, it's a repeat of Koulibaly. 1 year on his contract. Go for it. I mean, to me. Oh, hang on. I didn't really put cameras on. To me, I want to ask the question: Does Thomas Tuchel know what he wants? Because as soon as the second we get out of the Kounde deal, we immediately go
Matt,
to
you're not
another
going to
defender.
blame my coach here. How do you know? You said that like a million times. How do you know that he doesn't know what he wants?
Why is there every new day there's a linked player? I think Dumfries is another panic buy. We lost Klaus, so panic buy to think Skriniar wasn't our first option. It was nowhere near our second option. Wasn't even our third option. Wasn't even our fourth option. It's our fifth option. Skriniar is our fifth option. Now, to the point of will he leave Inter Milan? How much did PSG
No,
bid for
I
him
disagree. He's our fifth option. We tried to get him during the negotiation for Lukaku.
So why didn't we continue to go for him?
It didn't work out because that's
why
why
we going back for him?
If you follow the reports are that's going to be difficult. We want him. We've always wanted him, even before we start talking about Lukaku. But go ahead.
Yeah, we wanted him last year. You could say that, but look at this now. De Ligt, Koulibaly. I'm not saying that these players are better than that, but Koulibaly was a signing because we falled out with De Ligt, right? We look at Ake. Ake falled out. Kounde falled out. Now we're going to our fifth centre back option, Mr. Skriniar. If we really wanted Skriniar, we would have got him in July, back whenever you said. If you're right, then we were progressing him back in whenever we were doing it in June, whatever. Then why didn't we continue to push through it? Why are we coming back to it after a centre back just failed? Now, I'm not saying that Tuchel may not want him, but he just doesn't know what he fully wants. Does he know? He's not saying, I want this player, this player, this player, this player. He's saying, I want this player. Maybe I'll get this player. I'm not sure about this player. He has no idea. He's indecisive. I've said he's the best, one of the best
That is
coaches in the
true.
world.
How,
But when it
how
comes
did you
the
come to
managerial
that
side, he does not know
conclusion,
what he
Matt?
wants.
How did you
Because we're
conclude that
getting
Tuchel doesn't know what he
every
wants?
day. Every day we're getting linked with a new player. Every day.
How about the fact that the
Dumfries.
links are being engineered by the media?
Why are we getting linked with 7 different players?
But that's
Every
the
day.
media. That's what they do.
Media. But how's it
Do
the
you
media?
remember the
How's it the
story?
media?
Do you remember the story that we had already signed? We signed what's his name, Ousmane Dembele. That all was left is just for he's
That
going to
was just
join
guess the
us
grind.
on a 5-year deal.
That was one
Do you
journalist.
remember all those things? That's an example. I think to me,
But
the
it
media.
still meant we were
But
interested
go ahead
in
if
him,
you want to.
though.
Go ahead. Blame
Yeah.
Tuchel.
No, I'm not blaming Tuchel. I'm not blaming him. He's part of one of the problems. We can criticize the manager. I'm not saying Tuchel. I've already said it 1,000 times. I back Tuchel. I don't want him to stay, but we have to criticize what he's doing wrong. And you said it, a perfect example was Dembele. We didn't get the signing, but he was a player he was interested in. Rafinha, we didn't get it. Interested. I can name so many. Richarlison, we hijacked him last minute. Mukiele, just yesterday, we wanted to hijack him last minute. It's like he doesn't know what he wants. He's all over the place. Every
I
single day,
wouldn't
there's a new
blame.
player coming out.
Honestly, man, I will not blame
So
Thomas Tuchel.
who are we
But
blaming?
tell us
I'm not
what you think. Why again? Whenever you're done, fighting Thomas Tuchel, I just want you to tell us why you think, what happened, why you think it's difficult to get Skriniar.
I'm not saying I don't know if it's difficult. I don't know much about the PSG thing. I said I've been in my own Chelsea bubble this summer because we've had too much problems that I haven't really been focusing on other clubs. So I'm not sure the Skriniar situation with PSG. But what I do know with Skriniar is he's our 5th option. Am I saying he's a bad option? No, I would take him. But we've had better options on the market that we've lost. That's all I'm saying. So with this deal, I would take him to. Wait, he's a right centre back. Because I know he plays for Inter, so I'm assuming he plays in a back 3, which he'll be fit to do. Great, bring him in. But it's like, I'm not fussed now. I'm not fussed who we bring in. I just want to bring in players and get this done. I don't care how much we pay for them. I don't care about financial. Give him 400k a week. I don't care. We need players to fill up these spots. And after Skriniar, if he even comes, it's not done. We need to now go for Kimpembe. And Kimpembe gets signed for some odd, fantastic reason, rare reason, right? That's not done. We have to go for wingback replacement. Like Coach Hill, you said to me, "Am I off the panic bus?" And I was off the panic bus because I assumed that we were going to sell Werner, we were going to sign Kounde, and we were going to continue to go for a right wing back, right? But it has all flopped. We're not signing Kounde. We're losing our second keeper. Instead of selling these players, we're loaning them, which is good, but it's not the best. And we're not signing players that we really want. Like the Tuchel really want a Skriniar. He may like him, like we all like him, but was he the first preference? This is my point. If I said to you, what defender did you want in this market? Everyone would say De Ligt, Koulibaly, Kounde. No one would say Skriniar because he's not our first option. That's the same thing with Tuchel. Tuchel's first option is not Skriniar. If it was, he would have gone for him in June. That's why every single week there's a new player coming out linked. There's a new player we're interested in. We're progressing. And then if that flops, he moves on. He's not sticking to one player.
Yeah, here's what I would tell you is this. The reason was shifting from one transfer target to the other is probably because if one doesn't want to go the other, how about that argument? Because the fact is our target, for one reason or the other, we've missed out on them.
We could have missed out on them. Exactly. But we missed out on them because they're priority. That's the thing. We missed out on them because they're priority. Skriniar, great defender, I would take him, but I'm saying he's not priority. So it wasn't Tuchel's first signing. It was his 5th option.
Can you quickly address this?
Can you quickly
address this question?
Matt, would you sit there and say James Best is a wing back, but he's first? Good on him. What does that have to do? At Chelsea Football Club, him wearing a Chelsea shirt, his best position is as a right wing back. He played right centre back. He did well there, but he was better as a right wing back. Go to any Chelsea fan. If you go to Stamford Bridge and you go to which position would you put Reece James? Do you think any of them are going to say right centre back? Of course not, because his best position is a right wing back. If you put him as a right centre back, that means that we have some backup there, and he's just filling in. He's filling in a spot. That's what I would put him as there. But his main position to get the best out of him is as a right wing back. Now, I'm not saying quickly back. I'm not blaming Tuchel for. I'm not blaming it all on Tuchel for this transfer window. There is a lot of questions. I said on my stream, Coach Chiller, I said there's about 5 to 6 reasons why we're not making these signings, right? And there's not one answer to them, and no one can answer it. So, what's the reason why we're getting linked to every single player? Wait, and Lee Ball just said 5 or 6. I'm not saying Skriniar won't improve the team. Yes, he will improve the team, but I'm just saying the question was he was saying why are we getting linked with so many players, and I said does Tuchel know what he really wants? We can all sit here as fans and say we want this player, we want this player, we want this player, but as a manager, you got to be decisive on who you want. He's not being decisive. You can say we lost on Kounde, but there's so many reasons why we lost on Kounde. Look at we should have signed him a month ago. So what's the reason why we're getting linked every single day with another signing and then end up not signing him? I hope we sign Skriniar. I hope we sign Kimpembe. I hope we sign a 15-year-old from Saudi Arabia. I don't care who the hell we sign. I hope we just sign players. And the problem is we're not getting that done.
Yeah, again, I want to say thank you again for 192 people watching. And we have 101 likes. And thank you very much. So we're getting there. Our target is to get to 300 likes by the end of the show. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, here's something I want us to talk about in the people. Let me try and take a few comments in the chat. Again, apparently Titi likes Dusan Silent, but he's going on loan as there's no space. That's absolute nonsense. If he really likes him, he keeps him. If he thinks he's good enough, he likes him because he feels like he's good enough to play for Chelsea Football Club. Why not keep them? Why not keep the player? So it just doesn't make sense that he's letting him live alone while he's been singing him praises all the while, saying how much he loves him. So to me, that's just absolute nonsense. Let me say, how do I phrase it? Again, it's just brown nosing, if you want to say it that way. If we don't get Ronaldo or Neymar and don't score goals next season, TT got blood on his hands, if you want to see it that way. According to Build journalist Christian Fox, Newcastle want Werner. Again, let's sell him to the highest bidder. But if we sell him to a Premier League rival, you know Werner thrives when he has spaces, and we'll play a very high line. We'll play in a risky manner. He'd come back to us and then mop the floor with us. I would sell him to a foreign club. I don't want that drama of we sold them. Look how good he is because he still do well against us, even if it doesn't.
No, wait, he's ass. He's ass. Send him to Newcastle. He's rubbish.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Koulibaly is a much better buy for the Prince. Delete again. Delete is just for his age and sell value. Delete in terms of Koulibaly in terms of experience and pedigree. I think I'd take him. But if we're really building up for longevity and the future, I'd take Delete anytime, any day. But I'm fine with Koulibaly and what he brings to the team. We're all talking about centre backs, which we do need. But why are we not having a conversation about attackers and create? Again, the truth is
because we don't have any centre backs.
The clubs are linked to it. We don't know the players the clubs are linked to. Even defenders, we're not sure what players the club are talking with. It's just that simple. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Skriniar will come, will cost more money than Kounde, but I take him anytime, any day. That's just the truth. Again,
yeah,
it says,
so why don't we go for Kounde then? Because Kounde's a better player than Skriniar. Up the price.
Just say, why don't we wait for Kounde?
What?
Did you say why don't we go? What did you say?
Why don't we just up the bid on Kounde then? If Skriniar is going to be more than Kounde, why don't we just? And Skriniar has 1 year left on his contract. Wait, how would Skriniar be more than Kounde?
There's a chance the club learned, like maybe he prefers joining Barcelona. Why? Because we've had a bid in, and from what we're hearing out there, the bid has been there. We give him a personal, a salary that's nearly twice as much as what Barcelona are willing to be paying him, yet we didn't get a green light for days. So why would you not pull out?
That's the thing. That's right too. But I'm not saying that we could have just paid his release clause if he's going to be more. I said how much is Skriniar worth? I don't know how much. I said I have no idea about Skriniar and his market value, whatever. I don't know. I'm saying how much would Skriniar be worth?
Yeah, if you're in the chat and you know Skriniar's transfer value, please do let us know.
Didn't PSG ask for 60 million?
40 to 60, they're asking for Kimpembe.
1 year on his contract. Oh,
who has 1 year left?
Skriniar. He only has 1 year left.
Yeah, we know that. That's why I'm surprised.
Yeah, so I want to pay 60 million for him.
We should say to them 55 million, 50 million worth. Let's go. But if it's 60, 1 year on his contract, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Because we look at Sterling. Sterling's coming for 45 million. You know what I'm saying?
Here's this
So,
one.
Boehly had
This
one
this
left.
this comment on the screen here makes
Wrong.
me happy because I'd
He's not
rather
going to
us not
Madrid.
sell Azpilicueta to Barcelona. I'd rather sell him to Atletico Madrid, and
He's
I'm
making
serious
stuff
about
up at
that.
this time.
Sorry?
He's not going to Atletico Madrid. He's going to Barcelona if anywhere.
But I'd rather us not sell him to Barcelona, honestly. Let's lose him on a free next year. But we have to somehow show Barcelona they're dealing with a big club too, because we're big on our own right. You get that? We shouldn't just let them bend us over and do whatever they like with us, and then come again and take Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso. It just doesn't make sense.
Is that sarcasm?
Wait, coach.
Are you being sarcastic?
Go on, Ty.
Sorry?
Please, are you being sarcastic? That don't give him to
About
Barcelona.
what? Cesar Azpilicueta.
Yeah. Are you being
You mean it's
sarcastic?
Cesar Azpilicueta?
Yeah.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. Don't sell him to them.
yeah,
Why?
exactly. Yeah, coach is right.
Don't
Coach
sell
is
him.
right.
Look,
Bro,
that's
let's
the
be
way, here's the thing.
man.
It's about pride. Except if
That's
there
being
is something.
childish.
Hold on, let me finish. Except if there is something that was to come out of Todd Boehly's meeting with Laporta in Spain. Except if there's something else. Except maybe we'll still get the young because of the conversation they had there. If not, they just effed us to the fullest and mopped the floor with us. I'd
100%.
rather
100%.
not give us his ass because then let them get them on the free. Yeah, I know we'll lose a few million, but at least they're not getting them at the time they want them.
Couture, that is being childish.
Explain
That
why
is
it
being
is.
childish.
T.Y.
If you want to spite them, take their money. It's as simple as that. Take their money. Take as much money as you can from them. If you wanted 4 million, ask for 7 million, 10 million.
That's another way. That's another way.
Don't say you're not going to sell. He wants to go there. Give him his wish.
Who cares
but
about the
more
price,
money away
man?
from the club? It's as simple as that.
Again, Ty, that's how we want to see it. And Ty, you broke my heart. The only thing I didn't do is just cry. You just told me I sound like a child, but that's okay. I'm not gonna cry anyway. But
That's not what I said. I said that sounds child. I said that.
No,
not
that's
even,
indirectly. That's a very polite way of telling
No, I
us,
said
but I'm just
that.
kidding.
You don't add
I'm just
that.
kidding. I'm just kidding, bro. Here's this question from the Queen of the House, Just Viola, who says, "Is there a way to keep the Tuchel's targets under wraps?" It's not possible because these journalists, they have insiders. I don't know how they do that. They're able, to tell at what stage the negotiations are. In most cases, they're wrong. Maybe some people just take money to them sometimes and just feed them absolute crap because that's clear. Because for them to come out and say this is happening, somebody might have, taken money from them and feed them some nonsense, and they come out and say it. So in most cases, they're able to tell what players the club are looking at. It's the leaks sometimes do come from the selling clubs. And sometimes the selling clubs engineer the rumors to see if other clubs are interested so they get more money. So there's a bidding war. So other clubs that are interested in buying players will now, buying the player in question will now come forward. That makes it even more expensive to get that particular player. So, but that's, by the way, again, I want to say thank you for 209 people watching. Thank you to 209 people watching and 113 likes. It's not easy. We're nearing halfway through our target. What we want is 300 likes by the end of the show. So thank you very much. And if you see any Barca fan in the chat, as long as they're not using the word I can pronounce, as long as they're not using any insulting word, just leave them there. They're providing value to the stream. Except if they start insulting people, then you take them out. I'm going to try the best I can not to mistakenly click on their comments. I'll keep skipping them. Let them stay there and provide value to the chat. It doesn't matter. So, Matt, I want to get your thoughts on this question. Deals, let me start with you because you just joined us. This question from Just Viola. You have anything to say to that?
About
why is it not possible to keep Tuchel's targets under wraps? Because it seems like everybody who wants the whole world knows about it.
Because there's insiders in the club. They got insiders in the club, but I suggest that obviously I want there to be a surprise signing that the journalists don't know about. But that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So like it's nowadays footballs as well. That's what you got to realize as well. Nowadays football, journalists can get there's computer and they got like information, proper information, so they can get information. So it's like technology nowadays is easy. They can go find out information. Back in the days, it was different because there's no technology. You know what I'm saying, coach?
Mm-hmm. Let me get your thoughts quickly. Of all the defensive targets we're linked to, which of them would you like us to sign first? If there's a chance we want to get one in for us.
Skriniar, because I'm saying Skriniar because he's got experience, and if he's coming in straight in to be a centre back, it's got to be Skriniar, because it's
Why?
because if we're losing the likes of Aspie, Rudiger, it's vital that we get Skriniar out of the rest that on that list. That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to skip to the very bottom, and I'll come back to the panel. There's something I want us, maybe a topic I want us to talk about to help reset, our brains. Chelsea wants to buy everybody in the market, and only two has come. That's Marcus Arojo. His name is Marcus Arojo. Nice to see you here. You must love him so much. The truth remains, again, there are circumstances that have led to that player is not coming to us, but that's, by the way, says if we get Skriniar, Inter are getting Kimpembe, so we needed to get our cards right. That's the truth. But I'd rather us get a Skriniar. That's how I want it, and I've explained why, because he's able to play in multiple positions. But we'll see. Matt, I've forgotten more than you. I'm not sure why that comment is really necessary. We need a signing. Boehly should stop organizing dinners. We'll talk about why this organizing dinners. That's, by the way, I think we've all Chelsea fans are really pissed at hearing that. Says swap deals are done at work. Todd need to realize it's football, not baseball. Maybe he needs to learn that. But that's, by the way, again, I want us to move to the next thing. This one got me excited, really. Let me see. I'm waiting for it to open. I don't know if any of us has the video where about this guy talking about that is not like the case of Jonathan Klaus that I later on learned from Ty that he loves every club in the world, not just Chelsea Football Club. But Matt, I don't know. Let me start with you, Matt. I don't know if you've seen the interview. What do you think about him? And we'll be wasting our time, talking about what's his name, Ousmane Dembele. But this guy is one heck of a player if we can get him. And the fact that that response he gave regarding the question, I think, what was the question? I forgot how that question was phrased again. But Matt, have you seen the video?
I know what video you're talking about.
I know what video you're talking about.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I want to start with Matt.
This guy's a demon, man. He's a demon. He just broke up with his missus, whatever her name is, Jordan Pulis. I don't know her name, but Mrs. And yeah, his old one. What's her name? The PSG one.
Mrs. They were married.
No. Like, that's a saying we just stay here.
They were dating. They were serious. Lots of TikTok videos, Instagram videos, and all that.
They did. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they're together, right? And now that they're broken up, this guy's gonna be a demon on the pitch. He's gonna be a demon. Every time you see this happen, every player it's their comeback season after they break up with their girlfriend. You're gonna see the demon from Alphonso Davies. I rate this guy. I wouldn't spend 120 mil like he was valued. I like his attitude. I like his play style. I would take him. He loves Chelsea. He said, I watched Chelsea growing up. I would take him. And especially what happened in recent times, he's put on a lot of weight. He's put on a lot of muscle. This guy is going to be a beast this season. I would love to have him, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to happen, obviously. But if we're talking
with the count, as a marquee signing for you,
marquee, no, because he's Canadian. If he was American, I would have said yes, but no, I don't think he's marquee. I think he's still just a great player for us in general. He'll give some good competition to Chilwell, but is he needed? Is he top priority? Absolutely not. But I would take him any day of the week if he wants to come to us. This guy's gonna be a demon this season. Watch it.
Where do you think we'd play him if we get him?
I mean, it has to only be left wing back. That's in the position he plays. It's on the left hand side.
I think we need him because we don't have Chilwell. Doesn't look like the Chilwell we had before he got injured.
You can't say that.
And I hope that doesn't continue. Maybe I'm quickly jumping to conclusions, but again, we need competition in that area. If we're able to get them for cheap, then that's fine. But go ahead, Matt. I want to get Ty deal started, and I'll go to Ty to finalize because Ty seemed to be well acquainted with this situation. Go ahead, Matt.
You know, that's it. I mean, he's absolute demon, man. Watch him this season, bro. He's put on muscle. He's broken up with his girlfriend. Oh, this guy's gonna be a demon. Can't wait to see him. But he's not needed, man. He's not needed. We got other priorities.
Why do you think it's not needed?
Because Chilwell, you said Chilwell's not good enough. I said Chilwell is good enough.
I'm not saying he's not good enough. He doesn't look like.
He doesn't look like. Yes, he's saying
maybe not yet.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't sign priority. Like again, we have to fill up our centre backs. We have to fill up our wing back positions as our backups, and then we're gonna go to the front. So I wouldn't sign him because he's not here. We don't need a starting wing back. We need a rotation wing back, like a Borna Sosa or someone.
Yeah.
If we get him, I'm all for it. But this is not priority. It's not our main focus, and it's not going to be our focus because we're not going to be getting him. Cucurella will be our main focus, our left hand side. So Cucurella is the perfect signing on the left hand side, coach. Actually, I forgot to mention him as probably my best signing for the centre back. I said he'll be the signing of the summer for us because he can play left centre back and he can play left wing back. So this guy is a baller in both positions. Cucurella will be an actual player.
You heard the recent news
Alphonso
about
Davies just
Cucurella?
vibes.
He's
going to City. He's pretty much going to City.
No,
Let's not talk at the same time. I'll come to you in a bit. Deals. Go ahead, Matt.
Now go on to deals. That's it. I want to hear. Wait, what did you say, deals?
All right. These much like you just gives you the opportunity. Go ahead, Deals.
They rejected the 30 million bid apparently.
Did he?
Yeah, Brighton rejected the 30 million bid for Cucurella.
I mean, he's
they know Man
City,
City really want him.
Man City are saying that they're not going to willing to pay 50 million. So
I would sign for 50 million. And to the guy Chelsea all the way, we do need to sign a wing back, but this isn't a priority wing back. This guy is a starter. He's going to be a lot expensive. If we're going to go for anyone in this left wing back position, I will go for Cucurella. Why? Because he fills in two spots. This guy's a starter for the team. He'll come in.
Well, he doesn't want us. He clearly wants to join City. Do you want us to go waste our time again?
Alphonso Davies
if City are not willing to pay, that price, then we would jump in the conclusion apparently, and that's what
Here's
I think.
the thing. This is the type of player. Davies at 21 is the type of player I wouldn't mind. Transfer market says his value is 77 million right now in dollars, which means he will be a lot more less in pounds. And there's something about Bayern. If you're in the chat, can you quickly let us know if you know his current salary? Because Bayern, if your salary gets to a certain point, they're not gonna be looking to increase it. The option is usually to let you go. But again, Deals, you have anything to say about Alphonso Davies? This is the type. This is the type of player we should fight for and get him.
Alphonso Davies has got a massive experience in the Champions League from a young age, and I feel that if he came into Chelsea, he would help that left side of position. I think he would give Chilwell good competition to play against. That's what I reckon. So, that's my opinion.
Yeah, Ty, you can come in.
Yeah, this situation is, first thing I have to say is that we have to hope that Barcelona don't hear about this, because they may try to wipe out the childhood interest that he had in Chelsea.
Yeah, just 1 second, Ty. I want to end this poll. What should Chelsea do? 44% say sign Skriniar and Gvardio. 26% say sign Skriniar alone. 30% say sign Kimpembe, and 70% say sign Kimpembe and Gvardio. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, so enjoy that Barcelona don't know about the childhood love that he had, because it may wipe out that love out of him and try to hijack that love and make it be to Barcelona. Next thing is the question he was being asked: if you had to support a team in the Premier League, who would it be? And then he said that Chelsea. I don't remember the full response, but he said I grew up watching Chelsea, so Chelsea. So I was expecting this to come up about him saying this and should Chelsea go for him and things like that. Right now, I don't think Bayern Munich going to sell him, because every year I think he was playing more advanced, and then they moved him to a left back. I don't remember, but every year his pace improves and he gets faster. He's very quick, and I think it was a winger. I'm not sure, and they moved him further down, and then he plays a left back. For me, it would have been wonderful if we could sign him, but I don't think it's realistic. And I mean,
Here's the thing: and he's on 103 right now. He's at
He's not gonna
103k a
leave,
week because Bayern don't pay that much. This
180.
is the type of player I wouldn't mind getting and paying him like 250, doubling his salary. It doesn't matter. 103 million. That's 103k a week. Is it in euros or pounds? If it's in pounds, then it's even much more less. But go ahead, Ty.
I don't think Bayern would sell him because of how valuable he is to the team. That's what I'm saying. If his contract is going to expire, and there's a chance to get him, that is probably where you should probably approach him. Right now, I don't think they're going to sell one of their best players. He's special to the team. He has space. He adds creativity. He can score a couple of goals for them as well. I don't think they're going to
if you don't buy tickets, I'm going to say that again. You're never going to win the lottery. It's about money.
Yeah,
Try
but
it.
if you go with emotion, you won't stand a chance. But you just go for the numbers that you think is likely. And this looks likely because he says this. But I mean, by this way, we should go for Luke Shaw because he grew up a Chelsea fan too.
No, forget about Luke Shaw. I have my reasons against that. But here's the thing: I want to ask for those in the chat. I want to know: do they have a buyout clause on his contract? And I want us to look at the statistics to say again, it's worth us giving it a try and paying even 17 million pounds. I wouldn't mind for this guy. He's just 21.
Have you not heard the recent news about Frankie De Jong?
His what?
Have you had the recent news about Frankie De Jong?
I didn't get that, Deals.
Have you heard the recent news about Frankie De Jong?
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a bit. Just let Ty finish. I just had to ask him a counter question. Go ahead, Ty. You were still talking.
So basically, what I'm saying is that yes, I would take him. I would 167% take him because somebody confirmed what I thought, and yeah, he was a winger, and then he was moved further down by Bayern Munich, and he became a left back because I think they were in need of a left back, and I'm not really sure of the whole situation, but they needed a quick left back, so they played him there, and I think the demand in that position was already a lot, so then they couldn't promise him game time as a winger, so probably they moved him down. But for me, although he says this, I'm not really sure if it's possible. Not right now, because I think Bayern Munich value him to the team, and he's probably an important player in their team. So I don't really think they would just sell him like that. But I would take him. I 100% take him.
Yeah, Matt, do you really think we can get him? Because Bayern Munich wouldn't want to sell him, but pay the player more money. It has happened before. Teams do sell their best players.
Yeah, they would, but I would rather spend that money on a Cucurella who fits two positions and is still very good. Like I don't go get Alphonso Davies. The guy doesn't want to come.
What about the fact that Cucurella he's bent on joining Manchester City and all that?
Yep, that's another thing.
And how is Alphonso Davies bent on joining Chelsea? This guy's staying.
At least that alone, that he probably Chelsea. Even you get my point now. But go ahead with what you're saying.
My days, he's not gonna leave Bayern Munich. He's if we're talking unrealistically, I would take him. But let's talk realistically. Cucurella is still a player who could come to Chelsea. Whatever the bid is, he'll go to Brighton. Brighton's not a Barcelona. They're not stupid in the head. The highest bidder.
If the player doesn't want to leave, what will they do? That's the question.
If the player doesn't want to leave,
we've seen it. You can use the Rafinha for an example. We made the bid was accepted. The player did not want to come. That is the situation. And this is what is being said. It could be wrong. It could be true. He wants to go to Man City, and Romano said, if you want to believe Fabrizio Romano still, he said that Man City are not persistent with paying that price for him. And he has made it clear to Brighton that he wants to go there, and if it's not possible, he would rather stay at Brighton than to go to other clubs. I don't know if maybe Romano is just assuming right there, but.
No, you could be right. I mean, I believe Fabrizio Romano from here there. Cucurella, you're right. But if Chelsea come with an offer, at least we just try and put an offer in. You know,
Yeah, he tried. He can
who've
try.
done it for
You
everyone
don't know.
else.
He could say, okay, this club needs a left back, and they need a left centre back too. So maybe he could come. And for me, I always look at Cucurella as a player to say 25 million for him as a left centre back and 25 million for him as a left wing back or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, but I just think because he wants.
So Matt, are you guys arguing with they prefer us to go for Cucurella again? Even though he's always made his intention clear, he only wants to talk to Manchester City. How do we make it work?
No, I'm not. I'm not
saying it's not gonna work.
Saying that I would take him because 25 million for him as a left centre back and 25 million for him as a left wing back is valuable because he can do. It's not only he started as a left centre back. Barcelona did not well, I don't want to say value him, but obviously they were okay with him leaving. He was a left centre back, and even when he was playing as a left centre back at Brighton, I remember when Brighton smashed Man United, and he was playing as a left centre back, and even got on the goal sheet, even as a left centre back. And that is something that we love to see Rudiger try to do. Rudiger used to take shots and everything, and I always look at the left centre back as a second fullback who's always pushing forward, and that's what we see with Rudiger. That's what we see with Aspi when he plays as a right centre back. And
let's be factual here. Let's be objective here. Let's look at that. This is Alphonso Davies's numbers. I don't think it's that good. Maybe we would just
he's not a star player. Watch him.
Maybe we just based that judgment on an eye test alone. But the numbers are still.
I don't know why you're looking at the stat. He's a left back. You can't look at the stats for a left back. You gotta watch the player.
No, usually in most cases he's always in the attacking areas of opposition teams. So you expect him to create more chances.
He's probably not a stat player. I don't know. And he was injured last season for quite a while. Actually, I think he broke his leg or something. He got injured for a long time.
But there was a couple of questions. Games. Okay, even in 2020, 2021, where he played 23 games.
I mean, I'm not denying.
I think it's not always been. He doesn't look like he starts that much for them either. So we can get him if we really want him. But go ahead.
I just want to clear up quickly, Coach, if I can, that about the Kounde thing that he wants to join Barcelona. If I could just, because everyone keeps asking that and saying that he only wants Barcelona, which when he doesn't, and I've said this multiple times, multiple reports that come out. Jules Kounde, main priority is out of Sevilla. Plus, he doesn't mind Chelsea. He loves Chelsea. He came to London. He wanted us last season. Look at his Instagram stories when we didn't sign him. The poor guy was crying, right? The reason why he progressed more to Barcelona, why? Is because their manager, rang Jules Kounde, valued him, made him and made a connection with him, and he said he would rather go to Barcelona.
Because Tuchel also, he didn't. When did Tuchel speak with them?
I have to disagree, Matt. Sorry. Big up everyone. I came late. No, you know why I have to disagree?
He probably jumped on to fight you.
Yeah, no. I came to fight someone else.
Ty, before Declan come in, Ty, you wanted to say something. Ty, you wanted to say something, so Declan.
Yeah, I was saying that was an excellent entrance from by Declan. He just said, "I have to disagree with you, man."
Yeah.
That's
you know
why
why?
I said he came in to fight Matt.
I want to hear it.
No, I didn't come here to fight Matt. Last stream, right at the end, before some idiot made like a remarks, True Blue said that Marina was working on the Kounde case. Big up, like in praise that she was doing the Kounde deal. Now, do we blame Marina for this deal?
Let's refrain from name calling, please. Let's refrain from name calling,
this person, yeah. Is it all right if we get him on? I'd rather him come on before he calls me names in the thing. But he's quick to correct everyone in the chat, and in the process he disagrees with his own self. Right? He big up Marina on the Kounde deal, so now he likes Marina. I'm calling him out now. Do we blame Marina for the Kounde failure? Do we blame that because she was leaving the club, she didn't have her heart in it? And she didn't get it over the line. Do we make claims like that when we make claims that she was working on the deal when she's probably not even doing anything?
All right, Declan, let me bring you up to par. You've asked a question. You were saying something about what you disagree with Matt. Was that the response?
Yeah, no, because True Blue said that it wasn't like, because Matt was trying to explain, which could very well be true. What Matt said is his own someone reported it, right, and his own assumption, because we're all in the dark, right, and we have to make our best guess, and with common sense and a few things that we gathered, right, because we all don't know. But why I brought up and called out True Blue is because True Blue talks like he works for Chelsea, and he's right there, and he doesn't have sources. He is the source, like he's right there, and he knows exactly what's happening. And so why we all guessing when we got someone in the chat that knows what's going on?
Declan, just bring it back to your response to Matt. So I wanted to ask you what you think about Alphonso Davies.
At this point in time, my choice of players is probably loosened, if that makes sense. Like, you got a broad, like, the fact that we've just, I'm not blaming that the people couldn't get it over the line. I'm blaming that the player it's only really two players that just preferred Barcelona's project over ours. Barcelona look more of a team to win trophies than we do, and it has a momentum effect, right? Once they got a few players in, then Lewandowski's on board, then De Jong looks like he's going to stay, and Dembele's staying, and now all of a sudden they've strengthened and they look like a way better project than Chelsea. If it was the other way around, if Chelsea got Sterling, Koulibaly early, and let's say we got Ronaldo, and then all of a sudden people say, hey, these guys are really doing things, they're recruiting, right? And then our project might be more appealing. But what happened at Barcelona now is they got the members' vote to sell off the TV rights and the merchandising right. But in the process of buying transfers as well, right? That's what it was for. It wasn't so they can fill their own pockets, right? So now they're spending now, and they're going to suffer later with their members' blessings, right? That's how it went about. So they're going to be the biggest players in the market, and it's more appealing. Everyone wanted to join that. So I can't. It's not. I'm not going to say it's Todd Boehly's fault or the board or some people trying to blame trying to put Marina on the spot or whatever. Like it's no one. It's no one's fault really. Their project is more appealing. So if we can get Davies, that's great. I think he's a little bit versatile and can be used in a great way, multiple positions, and I think Tuchel could probably get the best out of him. And I'm not going to be picky at this point. Just want some players over the line. And like I said, it's momentum. So as soon as we get that third one, maybe that fourth and fifth might be a lot easier because it looks like we're actually doing stuff. And that's what's happened at Barca. They've got that momentum on their side.
So you don't think that's like you said? You're not really paying attention whether we should get Alphonso Davies or not.
No, we should. I'm saying like I think it's a bit harder to be picky on Alphonso Davies because we just don't need more. We need more players than it looks. There's players that are waiting to leave. Like Werner, it's almost come out that Werner was offered in trade deals, and he could be one of the people that wants to leave. Ziyech's name has been out there. We know Aspie wanted to leave. Alonso. These players haven't moved because we haven't been able to bring anyone in. And if people,
so it's not down to their salary being an issue. It's because we've not been able to bring anyone in. Is that what your argument is?
Yeah, like think of this situation multiple times now. Last season, it almost was a bit of a disaster because we thought we had the Kounde deal lined up and we let Zuma go, right? We're lucky that Chalobah stepped up to fulfill that spot. If we didn't have Chalobah, think of how our situation could be worsened. Do you know what I mean? We might have played Reece James permanently at the back, and we might have played Cho or someone permanently right back because of that. But we're lucky that Cho actually stepped up and and now if you got that multiple ways, right? If we let go Ziyech, Werner, and Alonso, Aspie, and then we only get one player in, and then we're hoping that we get three young academy players step up, or someone from the youth step up. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to suffer. So I feel like some of these deals are set up. I think Ziyech is set up. I think Werner is set up to leave, right? I think we're just waiting for people to come in. And it's not like we haven't tried to bring people in.
That brings us back to what we talked about yesterday. Because Milan, they can't wait too long. I think they're looking at other options, which means that Ziyech may well collapse.
Sorry?
You get where I'm coming from. Milan, they're looking at other options because that is their plan to sign a Ziyech is taking too long. So that's a chance that one collapses. Well, go ahead with what you're talking about.
Of course, yes, 100%. That could have been a deal, and we tried hard, and they're probably looking elsewhere. It might be still open, it might not be. It could have been for a loan. So if it's a loan, they probably were willing to wait. Maybe it's easy done because a loan's easy to do, and whatnot. And I think 100% we're bringing someone in, but they have to go. These players are in the mindset of they're in the mindset of already leaving,
and that's a problem.
Yeah, like the only person I feel comfortable staying is Aspie, because as much as he wants to leave, I think he's has such a relationship with the club that he might stick it out for a year and still play at the level. But for the other players, I'm not so sure. I doubt whether they can carry on. Because Aspie has had success here. I mean, Werner's already doing bad. Ziyech wasn't already doing good. Alonso, are these players, if they're being told they can leave and we told them to have to stay, can they really mentally check back in? So we might have a bigger issue keeping players. I'd rather more gone. I'd rather see. It's almost like I'd rather see a transfer ban season, where we just bring the kids in again, and some of them might really stand out, and we might not have a successful season, but we gain new youth, and we build a team, and we just ride off the season. It's almost come to that, but I'm sure there's more transfers coming. There's still a month to go. And I think
let me ask you this quickly. Hard. You said you want us to sign Davis. Again, before I show you his statistics, why? Can you explain why really you want us to sign him?
I think he can play a major role in multiple positions. I'm not going to be picky. And I'm pretty sure it was Alonso Davies that said he grew up watching Chelsea.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about it, and that's why we're asking the question.
Yeah, that's why we're linked to him. And there's probably no truth to it too. There's probably no bid, no interest, nothing. It's just because of what he said, that clip. So
there's not. We're just talking about him because we know he's a good player, but there are other factors that we must consider when we define a player as a good player. But that's, by the way, I want to get from you. Why specifically explain why you think we should go for him? Because if I look at the chat now, we have a poll asking, should Chelsea go for Alphonso Davies? 65% says yes and 35% said no. And if you're in the chat, let us know why you want us to go for him or why you don't want us to go for him. And again, while you are there, we have 182 people watching and we have 131 likes. We're shooting for 300 likes. And I know we can still get there. But more importantly, thank you for all the love you're showing this channel. Thank you for 132 likes. Please, if you haven't, like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. So, Declan, let me know why you think why you really want us to get him.
Because I think that he can play. I think he could do a job in left wing back and in the front line.
So defensively, it's why you want him.
Not only defensively. I'm a little concerned on how Chilwell comes after ACL, and the depth we have there. and I actually did like Emerson in that role. I mean, Emerson saying he looked good in pre-season. Even Kennedy was playing on the opposite side. I think he could play there too. So we have depth. So it's not urgent, but I mean, if he can come in and play two positions, I'm all for it. I think we just need players. So depending on how much we have to commit for him, I'll be all in for him. And if it probably came down to Barcelona or us, you probably pick us.
For the price we're being quoted, I don't think we should go for him. What we're seeing, not being quoted, they haven't quoted any price for us. Sorry, what I'm seeing in transfer market is what $77 million, which is around 60 plus million pounds. But that's not official. Maybe he has a buyer clause on his contract we don't know about. Some people are saying, I think
What's
actually something like
his
100
contract
million
situation
plus.
like?
Sorry?
What's his contract situation like?
2025. So it's going to be a difficult one, and his numbers attacking wise aren't that good actually.
He's
21.
Yeah, you're not getting him. 21, long contract.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they let him go? That player's going to get just keep getting better.
That is wishful thinking. Are we basing this off a tweet that someone said? Oh, someone tweeted and just a video of.
Yeah, we just having a conversation.
There's a clip of an
interview.
Coach,
that
there's
would
some
never
news
happen.
just quickly.
Go ahead, Matt. You have an update for us. Matt says he has an update for us.
It's not really
news.
reliable. It's just Daily Mail shit, but it's just saying that Frankie de Jong will only leave Barcelona for Chelsea if a move is to be completed, and will not join Man United. So
can I ask something? What is the?
I don't know.
Can I just ask something? Yeah.
There's a news.
What's the guarantee that us? How do we know? It's just us. Why would he not want to go to United? I mean, what?
No,
I'm not saying
he
that.
wouldn't.
I'll
He
take
wouldn't.
it.
There's a simple reason. The most obvious
Why?
reason is that they don't have time. They can't offer Champions League football right now.
Okay.
But there's no way to guarantee that's what the player wants or not. That's just the truth.
I don't believe these sources when they say, "Oh, the player wants Chelsea over United." I don't know how close are you to the player for him to say, "Yes, I don't want." You know, but yeah, we moved on it. Like
you can ask True Blue. He knows.
But, you know, like
he knows. Definitely knows. But
inside.
No, you're right. You can't listen to anything. But the only thing you can really come to, right, is look at Barcelona's team now, right, and probably what they'll do, and then look at Man United's team. Man United's team are pretty far off. Ten Hag got him playing a bit better. He's getting a tune out of Sanchez. Looks like they're going to be better, but they're far. Those two teams are far apart. We at least play Champions League. The coach has done something. Ten Hag, it's a big jump. He knows. Maybe De Jong even knows that it's a big leap for Ten Hag as well, right? But I think there's more to it. I hope that we're in the mix. I hope that if he's still, man, I can't believe that there was reports saying that he was willing to take a pay cut.
I don't see it, mate. I don't see it with what we've got going on here, Declared. I don't see it. I don't see.
Go ahead, Declared. Let's let Declared finish. I see you can come in.
No. I was going. I was done. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying. I love it. I love the fact. I would love a De Jong, and I don't think with the time we have, I think we've just lost out in this window. I think that we're gonna probably get panicked and go for players, but I think it will be too late to get the ones we want. De Jong, why? I will take him. Alphonso Davies, a generational left back. Why? I'll take that all day. But I don't know, man. I don't see it happening, man. I don't see. Todd Boehly has to work overtime. There needs to be 10 of him. What I do see happening is Dumfries and the centre back here, and probably
what's Skriniar?
a panic.
I
don't know who. Which centre back. I don't know, but I do see that Dumfries deal probably happening, and a centre back and another attacker, and that attacker may be a panic. That may be a panic attacker. It might be a Robinho. I said Robinho. It might be Neymar, Ronaldo. It might be both. But obviously, he said no. We've heard Tuchel say no because it's going to be the Ronaldo show. So obviously, you know. But I think we'll get Dumfries I believe that Dumfries is more realistic out of all the targets, even plus Kounde and all of them man there. He looks more realistic. And then a centre back, because obviously that needs to be addressed in it, because that's what he really wants. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But I just hope that Todd just gets things in order, man. Because look at these players we're being linked with, man. We can do it, man. I don't know, man. We move. But I've accepted that this year, you know, it's teething period. This season will be teething period. Don't expect the most. Don't expect a good start. Hell, don't even expect, you know, top 4 realistically. We ain't got the minerals. Let's just be realistic. And it's okay. It's fine. It's fine to not have the minerals. It's fine to play catch up because, you know, you learn from, you know, it's not every day win silverware. It's not every year win trophy. You know, sometimes look back and sit back and see why I didn't win it and then come back harder. And that's the realization that I think I'm going to have this year. I really, really am. So, yeah. And it's just based on the transfers, not the manager. I just base it on the transfer. I don't believe we have the.
You know, if we don't get top 4, if we don't get top 4, yeah, and if we don't get top 4, you know, Tuchel will walk away.
Yeah. So, in that sense as well. So, realistic. We have to be realistic in it, and let's not be like Arsenal and say, "Oh, we should be challenging for this, but we ain't got that." Arsenal did that, and they used to be very disappointed when the realistic situation used to come out of their situation, and they used to be getting annoyed and like, "Yo, Arsenal, be realistic. You are not the Invincibles no more. There's no Henri Vieira, all of them man there no more. So be realistic. You lot are not that team anymore." And we have to be very realistic in our approach as well. We haven't got the players to match what Liverpool and Manchester City have. Hell, Tottenham's attack is better than ours. Arsenal's attack 100%. Is arguably better than ours. So if
I don't know about that.
We have to have that argument and have to understand that their front line and our front line, who is clinical? Forget Sterling in there. Yes, Sterling is great, but Gabriel Martinelli, Saka, and Gabriel Jesus compared with Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Pulisic or Ziyech, the chances creation in there is to Arsenal's favour compared to us. So my realization is that we probably are going to play catch up, and based on the fact that Todd Boehly gets the reinforcements we need, it's not going to happen very soon. So Chelsea fans, we're going in for top six. Top 6 is what we should aim for. Don't aim for top 4. You'll just have headaches.
I don't know about that.
No. Okay. But as caller said yesterday, someone said, "Oh, we're going to get top 4. It's in our DNA." I'm like, we're really sleeping if we really think because of last season we're just going to get top 4 again. It's a given. I think we'll be in for a rude awakening if we're not careful. So that's just my realization, and I want everyone to just have that in mind so we don't create an animosity towards Thomas Tuchel. Oh, he's not getting it done. Why is he not? No. He's complained. The same complaints he's had is the same we had. He shares our complaints, and he's going to go into the season with the complaints we have. So if it doesn't go his way, he prophesized it, yeah, and it's happening. Like Mourinho prophesized it when he couldn't get Maguire and he threw his chairs out the pan, got sacked. He prophesized. So I'm just on that realization. That's all, man. Just be realistic. Hopefully we get the signings. Hopefully it's not panic. Because it looks like it may be panic if we're like what we're already like 2 days, a day after the 4-0 loss, and there's still nothing concrete of us. You know, there's still nothing. It's just interest here and there. So yeah, I'm realistic enough to know that this year is a very big teething period. Be ready for it, guys. Don't call for Tuchel's head in December, please. Do not do that. Just give him time to work with what he has.
Let's talk about Timo Werner's future here.
Newcastle.
Yeah, and I'm going to start with you, Matt. Matt, I know you had your argument. Who would you rather sell the player to? And again, before Matt comes in, we have 160 people watching and we have 138 likes. Please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. So thank you very much for all your support. Matt, again, your thoughts on Timo Werner? Are you for us selling him to, Newcastle United, or try maybe to strike a deal with Leipzig and have us get what's his name? Get Gvardiol.
I'll sign him and send him to China. I'll send him anywhere. I don't care where he goes. Send him
because the rumors are that Leipzig they want him.
Yeah, I'll send him to
The-
Leipzig. I mean, he'll do well in a different league. He's just not Premier League fit. I'll send him to Newcastle. I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared if you send him to Newcastle. Newcastle's asked. Send him to there, but our main priority will be to get to Leipzig so we can, as you said, to strike a deal with Gvardiol, maybe get his price down a bit. But for my main focus, I would just sell Werner, whichever club wants him and who would pay any type of money for him. I don't care the price, just pay any type of money, take him, get him out of our club. I don't want him on loan. I want him just to go because I want to get out of our books fully. So anywhere is the best. But if we can track a deal, I'll take it. But just priority is to get him out.
How about you, Ty?
Honestly, I don't really think it matters where we sell him. I mean, if he goes to RB Leipzig, they still they want it on a loan, and I think the loan doesn't mean that he's gone permanently. And for me, Werner simply does not suit the Premier League. It's become clearer and clearer. He's been at the club for 2 seasons, and there has been no change. So he clearly doesn't suit the Premier League. So in that sense, it's best to sell him to a club outside of the Premier League. But I mean, if that's not possible, and Newcastle the other one showing interest, maybe you may have to sell him to whatever club is interested in selling.
Sorry, go ahead, please. If you're not talking, can you mute your microphone? The audience could hear everything, and it's distracting. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, and into that, I just think that it really doesn't matter where we sell him as long as we get him to get a move that he wants, because he's made it clear that he'd be happy anywhere and everywhere. And I mean that means that if we send him to the Qatar league, he will be happy there too, because he said he'll be happy everywhere. So any club that's interested in him on a permanent, we sell him. We cannot get a profit on him, so we might as well take a loss and just move on and try to use that funds to bluster the squad in other positions or possibly in the attack as well. But we just have to cut our losses and accept that the relationship hasn't worked out, and I don't want to say it was a mistake, but it just never really worked out, and it just there's no positive that comes out of it, and so just have to accept defeat.
How about you, Dales? What do you think? And Ty, I didn't ask you. Are you okay with us selling him to Newcastle United?
I wouldn't mind us doing a swap deal for St. Maximin for Newcastle, or do a swap deal with Gvardiol for Leipzig. Quickly. Wrap that up. Quickly. Smart deals, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm seeing it.
Okay, now here's let me not just go into this. Just shut up, coach. That's, by the way, you're done with this channel, and shut up. All right, I want to get to Todd. IBZ, your thoughts on Timo Werner leaving the club, and are you okay with us selling him to Newcastle, or would you rather us try to sell him to give him back to Leipzig?
Here's my theory. We let this guy go to Newcastle, we'll bang goals. So obviously no, we'll bang goals for Newcastle. We take him outside the country. We take him outside the country. Go back to Europe, bang goes there. I would, that's an easier pill to swallow than having the shame of a team that's inferior to us getting the best out of a player that we sold. Basically saying that obviously our flop is their golden child. I wouldn't want to see that. It will kind of hurt me. It will kind of hurt that. How do we not get the best out of him? What happened? What did we do wrong that Newcastle are doing right to get the best out of him? Because I believe that he will do well at Newcastle. Small team up, obviously. Smaller team, big, obviously passionate city. They'll live and breathe football over there, so he will feel it. He will embrace it. But yeah, I mean, I like the guy in it, so I wish him well in it. But I wouldn't want him to go to a Premier League team. No, I want him to go to like a.
Why does that matter?
Because
why does it matter?
So when we play him twice a year, doesn't turn up. I don't want to see an ex-blue play for a Premier League team.
Wait, hold on. So
Get
hold
out.
on, hold on. Let's don't forget that if he goes to RB Leipzig, we could pay them in the Champions League because they finished in Champions League spot. And if we get him in the group stage, we have to play them twice.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
no,
one
it was
second.
good,
True
though.
Blue,
That's
please,
not
if
ideal.
you want, just 1 second. If you want to leave, please leave. If don't stop commenting there. Stop commenting. And the issue, the nonsense you're talking about the app is working. You won $50 and ask every other person that has won money on this channel. It doesn't take 2-3 days for them to get it. You won yours, and I got the wrong email from Nick Blue. I just want to stop that because you're pissing me off right now, and the email didn't work. And if you force me, I'm gonna share the screenshot with everybody here. It didn't work, and I went back and forth with Nick until I got effing tired. I'm just gonna be blipping myself by myself now, but I'm really pissed. I'll message your so-called cousin staff on Facebook. Send me the correct email. Send me the correct email. So stop this nonsense. If you're done with the channel, don't come back again, and don't go change your name to something else and come back here again. Don't push me. Seriously, don't freaking push me. I'm gonna block you now, and I'm start communicating with your cousin staff, like you did put it, to send me the correct email address so you get whatever you've won from this channel. I don't want that nonsense anymore. I'm tired of it. And please send a working email. If you send an email that's not working again, I will go beyond just putting it the way I just put it, and you're not gonna like it. Go ahead, Ty.
First of all, I'm sorry that this is happening. And the second thing is, for me, I just don't see the narrative of if we saw him to Newcastle, we're gonna be seeing 2 games. Because if
That's me, Ty. That's me. That's my personal thing. Why I don't want to see my ex-player play in the league again. If he's a flop for me, go on back your business.
So in the league,
go to Germany, go whatever. I don't want to see him in the league again, creaming his shorts. I will do me somehow. Won't he do you somehow? You're gonna be okay with you not having this striker, but you see the striker scoring, having a good time in the same league as you. Like you not gonna get shame. You know good shame. You know good things. This guy waiting apple.
Look at Dominic Solanke. He was a youth player, and what happened? He scored against. He did well.
Solanke. Are we comparing Werner to Solanke?
Who was really thinking? Was it Ty?
You're not getting the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that Solanke did not work out at the club. He was sold, and he did well against us. That's the point I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not the first time,
I won't compare Solanke to the Werner.
I'm not comparing quality, and that's what people do. They interpret things that people say in the wrong way. I'm not comparing the quality. All I'm saying is that you will have players that you have at a club, they won't work out and they'll go elsewhere. Salah, that happened with Salah.
100%.
What happened?
100%. I felt more better when we sold Salah to Roma. I started trembling when I saw Liverpool came in for him. I felt better when he went Wolfsburg. I started trembling when Man City bid 50 mil for him. It hurts me till this day. I swear to God Almighty, bro. When I see them man there score and turn up, it hurts me, bro. Till this day, bro, it hurts me, bro.
So your argument is that we shouldn't sell him to Newcastle United,
bro. Sell him outside
the thing is,
obviously that's not gonna happen. If they come with good money and what have you, then it's whatever. You know, go, do what pleases you with it. But as a Chelsea boy, I see Timo Werner. He didn't hit the numbers for me, and I see him go Newcastle and he hits numbers, bro. That will eat me, bro.
If he will, he's not gonna hit it. He's not gonna hit anyway. He's not gonna hit it.
That's my concern. That's why I don't want to see him.
Here's the thing. Here's why I think if we set him over to Newcastle, that he's going to do well against us. Is this? We'll play a very high line that is risky, in a very risky manner, that he always finds joy playing against us. He's only struggled against teams that defend deep.
So
if you follow all the games he's done well in the Premier League.
If you don't mind him...
I don't want that to happen. That's just me.
I'm saying you don't think they'll use the advantage of they know his weaknesses. They know how to block him off because clubs know what to do to obstruct him. So if he plays for us, we see him in training, we see what he's all about. He loves to
You
get
think
past.
we're gonna defend deep to stop him?
You don't need to defend deep. You don't need to defend deep. That is a poor thing that you need to defend deep to
Are you
prevent
gonna
him.
man mark him? That's another way.
There's ways that you can do it. Man marking is one of them, but man marking does not really help in this situation.
Timo Werner goes to Newcastle.
Man marking somebody open space for somebody else.
We're winning 1-0. Timo Werner scores 2 goals. Yeah,
Stop thinking one-sided, IBZ.
I'm just giving a scenario. I'm just giving a scenario, bro. I'm giving a
How's he
scenario
gonna
that's
score?
realistic. I'm just saying it could happen. He could not. He could go there and be a flop. He could go there and be a star. What I'm saying, I don't want to see that risk. Period.
No, you're right. I'd rather see him at
I don't want
Leipzig.
to see that. What the hell? Why would I want to see the risk of this guy playing this guy twice a year for the next 5 years or how many years they give him a contract with the risk of him scoring goals against me when I had him? Why would I want to see that? Why would I want to care?
Okay.
Bro,
Fair
I'll
enough.
send him out of
Fair
Europe,
enough.
bro.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm
Fair
trying to say to you, my brother? Send him out of
Fair
Europe.
enough, fair enough.
Champions League is...
No, you got a point. No one wants to
That-
see
that- that's
the
a
same
fair
player.
point. That's a fair
was-
point.
Champions
That's a
League
fair
is,
point.
you're right when you said if he goes to Leipzig we could play him in the Champions League, but that is not as guaranteed that I know that I'll play this guy twice a year for the next 5 years. The guy could turn up. I'm not saying he
Who
will. Don't get me.
cares, though?
What do
He's
you mean?
not
Who
gonna
cares?
turn
He's the
up.
difference. He
Who
could be the.
cares?
We don't know that, bro. And he could be the difference between.
Well, we've seen how Chelsea.
I'd rather
He's
sell him at
You see
Liverpool
I'll give him to Liverpool.
than Newcastle.
I'll give him to
Bombo
Liverpool.
class.
Let me
No, because-
again, IBC.
No. I agree with IBZ when it comes to any other player. But with Werner, I feel like if we give him to Liverpool, that he'll take down Liverpool.
Really? You think he won't do well?
Nah.
Well, how's this guy gonna all of a sudden start scoring?
Bombo class.
Here's my
What is it,
argument.
mate?
Here's my
They will
argument.
train. They will learn the thing again. You know.
Werner will never put up a consistent performance in the Premier League
I don't
because
see
every
that,
time
bro.
he plays any
But-
team that defends deep, he struggles. No matter how you see it. And we get a lot of that in the Premier League, except for around about 8 teams right now. If you count Newcastle in, it depends on how Eddie Howe approaches the game. By the time they buy the players he wants. But here's the thing: Timo Werner will not put up a consistent performance in the Premier League, except if it's a Bundesliga or maybe in Italy. He will still struggle every now and then. But the reason I just don't want him to stay in the Premier League, let alone get a chance to come score against us, because it's going to break my heart.
So for him to put his hands up, for him to put
not
his
a-
hands up and say, "I'm not celebrating," God punish him if you do that kind of thing.
No. The reason
I get that aspect.
my number one reason I don't want to see him in the Premier League is because I don't think he will score. I want him to go back to Bundesliga where he starts scoring, gets his confidence back.
You just want him to. You want him to do well, and that's very nice.
Dude, he's on a high wage.
want
You
him
know
to
how
do
hard to
well.
get rid of Werner?
I want
We
him to
need
do
him
well,
to play
bro.
well somewhere else, right? So someone can actually buy him. And Leipzig would be great, if he goes back to his club where they appreciate him. They got a striker in Cuckoo. If he does well again, maybe we can sweeten the deal to go for it next season, something like that. There's a double bonus there if we could do something like that. Just we need him to do well somewhere else, just so someone buys him and gets him off the books.
So you
He's
want
our
him out on loan?
he's our second highest player now, paid player or
You want him
third.
out-
Let me
you want
just
him out on loan?
Yeah, if it's on a loan, it's great as well.
Yeah, let me
Well,
hear
we
more
don't.
of those.
Well, we
Let me
don't.
hear more of
Well,
those in the chat quickly, because I haven't read the comments in a while. Again, Tobias Right Quiz said, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Werner is just a European missionary. He doesn't have that deep ties with Chelsea. So who cares? Again, that's another way to see it. But I think first of all, there are so many factors you have to look into on why he's hasn't done well, at Chelsea. The way most teams defend, and also the fact that he does better when you pair him with another striker. That's my argument. Again, Werner needs. Again, this is a response to someone else. On TT, you can have them free from Bas. We don't want TT. We don't want Bata rejects. Again, we don't want them to steal all the transfer targets from us and then give us those that don't want at their club. Thank you so much. Again, that's by the way, bro. I think you followed the channel long enough. You deserve to be a mod, actually. And we need more mod as possible, to help keep things clean. Again, I can't do everything by myself. I'm already struggling in trying to catch up with what we have in the chat. Here, again, let me see if there's anything else to read here. We cannot give Werner more chances. I used to love him, but I am sick of he doesn't have any skills. Again, I'm not going to talk about his abilities. He has his own deficiencies. Every player you look at does have one deficiency or the other. But the fact that it doesn't look like he's never going to produce a consistent performance for Chelsea, for some factors, one, the way the manager likes to approach the game, and the other one being the way most teams in the Premier League defend. That will never go away. That is something that remains, it doesn't change. Yes, people, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have it. Again, let me see if there's anything. Kuchila, Man City sold Sterling, Jesus, Zinchenko to Premier League arrivals. Why afraid of facing Werner when we have a face like Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Salah? Those weren't by design. Those guys went to other clubs. So those guys you mentioned there, the Chelsea players you mentioned there, they went to other clubs before now. They came back to the Premier League. But that's another argument. Again, that is just me. What I'm afraid to see. But really, the most important thing, I think I'm with Declan. The argument he should go where it will work out for him. Plus, again, you must remember it's really going to be very difficult to find a buyer for Timo Werner. Again, I want to come back to the panel quickly and ask this question. Go ahead. You were saying something.
I was saying that's the point. You have there's two options here so far. One club wants him on loan, and one club wants him permanently. There's no certainty that when he goes on loan, they'll want to buy him. Sell him to the club where they want him permanently. So even if he does badly, that's not your problem. So it doesn't come back to you in the next season. Sell him to whatever club wants him. We cannot get a profit on him. We might as well just sell him. It doesn't matter. We need to stop looking at, he could score against us. Anyone could score against us. We could a target that we want could score against us. It doesn't matter. Sell him to whoever wants him. You cannot be looking at the fact that we don't want him to score against us. Everybody's going to score against us.
No, that's just my personal, opinion. Again, I don't want to see that happen, but that's by the way. But go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, and I understand. I'm not saying that you're wrong too, but I'm just saying that I just don't think we should obstruct a move just because we don't want him to score against us. I'm just saying that I'm not saying you guys are wrong, and I can get the point you're making. I just don't think that it's just valid.
I get what you're saying, Ty. You don't if they come with a bid, yeah, we shouldn't reject the bid based on the fact that they're a Premier League team and should have sold. Yeah, that's true. That's albeit. But if I have the option of selling it to Europe and Newcastle, I will look at Europe first before Newcastle. I know Newcastle have the peas to spend. Reluctantly, I will have to accept it and say, wish you all the best. Please don't haunt us. Whatever you do in it, just haunt everyone else. So that's all it is, isn't it? I'm not saying he will score at that time, but there's always a risk. You know what I mean? Come on, how many times do you see it? Scored against his former club. Oh, he doesn't celebrate. Daniel Sturridge scored a banger against the man a couple years ago. You see it?
I remember that.
He couldn't. He had to hold it. He had to hold it inside. He knows it, go. We won that game, He equalized it. You feel me? So what I'm saying to you is, I don't want that type of situation happening, especially with Timo. Timo did nothing for us. Nothing, apart from a few runs that outstretched the Real Madrid defense in 2021. What else did you do? You know what I'm trying to say? So I wouldn't want to see the best of him at another club in the same league when we had him, and we could have done the same, But I understand what you're saying, Ty. Let's not have that sentiment. If the bid comes in well, let him go. And I understand that, but we'll just have the risk that this guy could be the difference between us.
Yeah, 3 points have that. And he could go to the Leipzig, and when we face them, it could be knockout stages because they have a good team to make it into the knockout stages.
No, you're not wrong. That's true. That's true as well. Sorry, coach. What's been happening? I've been seeing you screaming. What's happening, coach? What's going on?
No, we don't need to talk about it on screen here. Again, I'm having a headache. It's just again, I don't like it to see somebody, who would always want you to agree, who would always want you to agree to what they're saying or forget it. It's either the argument or you forget it. Your own argument, counter argument is always nonsense. Theirs is always the best. That's not the way it should be. But let's not talk about it. But this is a delicious comment indeed, and a very funny one. Phantom says in 1980, my youth league soccer coach taught us to dribble without looking down at our feet. In 2022, Timo Werner still does not know how. Again, that's why this is funny. You're not being fair, Phantom. And after all, you're half Chelsea fan and half Fulham fan. And you said if we play Fulham, you support them. So you have no right to talk about Timo like that. But that's, by the way, if you're watching, please, you haven't, go check out Phantom of Tape, Many Topics YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. He has a lot of travel videos, and I think you'd like them all. Again, here it says, forget Kounde, buy Kimpembe, Gvardiol, and Skriniar. I don't think we'll get them all. Since we already have Koulibaly in, probably the most will be 2. I'm not sure if Thomas Tuchel wants more and you heard that, let me know. I'm sorry, bro, but Chelsea, they don't have good management to deal. I'm not sure what the argument is of. I have an 8-year-old that was, above and excelling his project and started playing at the 12th year academy level as a forward. He's available at a cut price of 35 million. I am willing to start negotiating. We're trying to link you up with the Chelsea hierarchy. Something I want to talk about quickly here, very, very quickly here, is that Chelsea wants to sell Mbuyamba. Anybody? Ty, you wanted to say something first of all.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So based on everything, I mean, in that sense, I just think we just have to accept the losses. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm hearing that the club wants to sell Mbuyamba, Xavier Mbuyamba, or Xavier, I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Anybody on the panel, your thoughts?
Is that what is it, a part of our loan washing machine or our youth?
Probably because that is the amount of players you're able to loan out at the same time.
Yeah, some FIFA regulation.
Yeah, that's an issue now. So most of them can't stay, and most of them understand that there are no shortage of buyers of clubs. There will no shortage of clubs seeking for their signature. So your thoughts on that? Again, he's a player.
Why was so unlucky?
You could argue that because the injury he had didn't help matters. You wanted to say something, IBZ?
We're unlucky, man. We're unlucky, man. Everybody related to Barcelona, everything, it doesn't end good for us. Because now we have to sell him, and we got him from Barcelona, so that everything related to Barcelona just goes sour.
Anybody else want to say anything about Xavier Mbuyamba?
Do you know what? Yeah. This is the truth that we didn't want to accept in it. Maybe just like for everything Roman has done for us, I can't even thank him enough in it. But maybe this is we're reaping the benefit, or we're eating the problems of what the Chelsea academy system, the loan system, was. Like what we did with it. I think this is it. We've not been able to get players out on high wages, overholding players. I think we're now seeing the reasons behind, or the how you say, I'm not looking for the right word. The ends of how we played it out. Like this is, whatever you sow, you reap what you sow type of thing. This is it, innit? Getting players in high wages, selling them out on loan, not being able to offload them. This is we are the cause of our doing, and obviously we've got a new approach, and we should now understand that the transition will happen, man. The transition will happen. So we might even have to keep this brother, and keep him in the fold. And it's a big one. It's a big mess. Like Ty just said, we're unlucky, bro. We're unlucky. But again, this is the pill we will have to accept as Chelsea fans, and have optimism for better days ahead. Hopefully we can get these players out. If not, get used to seeing Ross Barkley, number 8, Kennedy, number 3, holding down that left wing back, inverted winger on the right. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, our new Lampard for the season. Let's go. Let's get used to it, because we're in transition, guys. a lot of changes, a lot of them.
Yeah, again, thank you very much for that. I'm going to go to Declare, and I want to have Bills round up this one for us. Again, if you are in the chat, please keep liking the video. We have 150 likes. That's not easy. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's halfway through our target, but we'll round up in a few minutes. But then again, I'd be ungrateful not to thank you for 150 likes. That's not easy. It's not easy to reach that at all. So thank you. Please keep liking the video and also share the stream wherever you can, and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, your thoughts Declan on the fact that the club that we're looking to sell Biamba.
Are we? I didn't know that we are.
We are. I learned that. I think it was Simon Phillips who. Let me try and find out again. And there's
For
something
a
else I
loan,
want us to
or-
round off with. Go ahead. Yeah.
I really thought that it could be one for the future. Maybe someone just test it. If not, have a loan. I didn't think we'd sell him. He only just got here, didn't he? To last season or the season before. He was a really good prospect. I didn't think, why would we sell him?
Yeah,
so
and we
early?
signed him from Barcelona. I think you've already said that.
Yeah. And it sounded like we got a real good talent. What I don't get why we would sell him before we actually tested him on the development.
Yeah, I think there was a time he was added to the bench, and we were looking forward to seeing him start games. I think we had defensive injuries then, and he's a player. People called him another Van Dijk. He was that's how good he is as a kid. And if you watch the youth game, even I've seen content creators such as Monster raving about the kid and others. He's that good. Maybe like Ty said, he's been quite unlucky, really. I think that may well be the case. He's been quite unlucky, I have to be honest, and because I wanted to see him gradually, join the first team. He's built everything. He makes the perfect center back if you want to see it like that. But that's, by the way. Here's the thing. Another thing I want us to talk about here is this one here. Unfortunately, I didn't have Buyamba's picture to share on the screen to make the conversation easier. Let's round off with this one. I think it's something worth talking about. I'd argue again, we shouldn't worry about it. He's smart enough to have other people, doing the work in the background. He's not. Again, it's funny, really. I don't think he'd prioritize doing this if there's no one else, taking care of the transfers. And I'm sure you can see that, Deus. He says Boehly clearly is keen to take an active role, guiding the Premier League on even a bigger revenue after buying Chelsea. That sounds like his priority is to find a way to make more profit. That's one. The other aspect of it is where David Austin said New Chelsea on Todd Boehly hosting dinner for Premier League counterpart tomorrow night. Executives from all the 19 clubs invited to informal event after shareholders meeting. Not all can attend, but seen as a nice touch by group. Again, to me, the way I see this, again, given the situation we're in, I don't think he should be doing this. Even if he wants to do this, it shouldn't even be public. Because even if he has other people taking care of business, this makes it seem as if he could care less, how we've tried and failed to get two of our transfer targets in. So I want to get your thoughts, Declan.
I'm not sure the question. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were telling us this is the dinner.
Yeah, because there are two things there to look at. This one here makes it seem as he's focused on profit. Profit is his priority. This one here just makes it feel like he could care less what happens. He doesn't really care that much about the fact that we missed out on two transfer targets. And he's prioritizing. Again. In some situations, as a human being, there are some stuff you say, well, I don't want to do this just to show that I really care about what's happening. You get my point now. So, but you go ahead.
Oh, maybe Boehly's here to reignite the Super League and that. Who knows?
That's a chance. Who knows if that was the conversation he had with Juan Laporta?
I don't know. I think it's look. We know that Todd Boehly isn't, has no experience in football, but I think maybe this is something he did in America, and maybe to build. It could be just like almost like I'm here, I'm welcome. It's just something just nice gesture, and maybe the beginning to build small relationships with people that he's going to run into. Because usually how all the clubs owners and that will meet up, or the representatives for when they have to vote on something important. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to the Premier League, and instead of meeting everyone then, why not meet everyone in a dinner? So the first time isn't, when it's serious, and only half would be there. So better off. I think he's just starting to build some bridges. That's about it.
Yeah, but do you think this is the right time to do so, at a time where if he's really paying attention, or if his PR people are really paying attention, because the fan base is important no matter how you say it. The mood in the fan base, how bitter we still are. He shouldn't be doing this right now, because you see how many people interpret it. Maybe you and I and some other people on the panel and some other people in the chat are able to look at it and come to conclusions. This is actually the reason. So would you, if you were him, would you do this right now? Most especially, quite where there's a possibility
if we got transfers in, no one will say anything.
That's why he shouldn't even do this. We've had two issues, two of our biggest, so far you could argue biggest targets lost to same club. If you want to see if in fact it's looking likely Kounde will end up at Barcelona. So would you do this if you were Todd Boehly?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. There's obviously something behind it. There's not for no reason. If people think that Todd Boehly and the group should be working non-stop, 24/7, and not do anything else, I'm sure there's time for activities like this, time to do other stuff. I'm sure they are working hard. I mean, people think they're not working hard because they're having a dinner. I mean, how time do people know how time consuming this is, or anything? This could be like a one night thing. I mean, should we start complaining if they spend too much time with their family and not getting transfers? I mean, people are very emotional and have anxiety that they start forgetting about reality. But again,
you have to pay attention to those things.
I think I have to agree with Declared here, man. I understand where we are coming from, because obviously we ain't done nothing, and it looks as if the guy's not listening and he's just on his own private mission to do what he needs to do. But I think he's got to do this. I think he's got to do this. Hello, I'm Todd. I'll be looking forward to working with you guys. I mean, it's the beginning of the season now. I mean, it's not the season's not. I mean, I would be surprised if he did this during the season. He's got time, but he's doing this at the end. Beginning of the season. Season's not started. Hello, hi, how are you? This is me. Not necessarily saying, oh, we need a transfers. Any of you 19 Premier League executives want to help us out? No, I don't think it's like that. But it's just an informal situation. Looking into it, I mean, it's tonight. He's invited 20 top flight, 20 executives. Anyone that not everyone can make it. I don't think it's that much we should look into. To be honest, it's got to be. It's not going to be like 5 hours. God damn, eat it for 5 hours. It'll probably be like an hour, 2 hours max. Probably he's speaking with this person, that person. It's okay. It's business, Coach, it's business, But I understand where you're coming from, because obviously it looks like we haven't done anything, and obviously
it looks like he doesn't care about that.
And this guy doesn't care. I understand, but this is why this is. Come back to my argument.
How about this aspect? Go on. This upper section.
Go on.
What does that tell? What do you make of it?
Take an active role for guiding the Premier League to even bigger revenues after. Who knows? Yeah, it could be he's a businessman, so he could be putting innovative ideas towards the other, owners and say, yo, guys, or want to find help. How do I put my stake in this club in the American market? We don't know.
How about if I say it this way? If he's taking the role, what's the role he took up again? He's the negotiator, and he's also, what's the other one?
Jack of all trades, basically.
Let's say, let's say that Jack of all trade. He's the one taking care of our transfers, and we've had two big failures. If you want to talk about that, if you want to phrase it like that, and his concern right now is how to lead the whole league to be able to do this. Maybe that's the way I should have phrased it.
You see, no, but the way you phrased it is really, it is, and it goes back to my argument. It also goes back to what Declare just said. If we were signing players, this won't be a problem. In fact, we'll see it as formality. We'll see, this is how the Americans probably doing it. They just want to let everyone know that they're here. Hi, I'm Todd, LA Dodgers owner. What's up, guys? It's good. It's cool. It's fine. But obviously, we ain't really done our part off the field for you, our new chairman, to be meeting others. Let's get our stuff right first. So I get that argument, but I believe he does need to let everyone else know who he is. And he does need to let everyone else know I'm here, hello, hi, because the big boys roll with the big boys, they're all big boys now. So they will just say, hello, how are you? Me, if he had kept Marina and Petr Cech till before the end of the transfer window, if he just kept them, he could go to any meeting he wants and they'll just be doing the things in the background. Do you know what I mean? But he didn't do it. So, mate, you're going to have to be doing a lot of things. See, you want to be in a meeting with 20 other executives, but we need you in the transfer window, bro. Negotiate with other directors of football and chairman. You see why the job of anyway. We thank God. We really thank God. I swear.
You just ran out of explanation for the man. But I get your argument. If you're in the chat, please let us know what you think about these two aspects of this part here. Again, the meal itself, but this part here, where you think about, because most people, they're interpreting it the way they want. I understand. I read more into it. But if he's the chief negotiator and the one handling our transfers, he shouldn't have time on his side to be doing all these things. It's as simple as that's how I want to see it. Before I go to Ty, I want to say, please, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So Ty, come in. Let me know what you think about this. Ty, do we still have you here? Okay, it looks like we don't have Ty available now. So I'm going to come to you, Declan. I want to get your final thoughts on everything we talked about today.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Ty.
I'm here. My mic wasn't working. All of this there's a lot of interpretation for this. For me, it could have been something like I saw just Viola said, and I think it could be that he I don't know, maybe it's open, like have a friendly relationship with the other owners or directors and things like that. All the executives are in the Premier League or work with different clubs, so that we open some pathway in a sense that we can get some players from other teams in the Premier League if we think they're good enough for Chelsea. Now the thing is, this sends a whole message. I was listening to you guys and everything, and the fact that this is what's happening now, and
sorry, you said it sends a horror message, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead. At least I have someone on my side.
Because we've signed two players from a promised number or supposed or reported number of 7 or 6. This will not send a good message, because people will say we just missed out on Kounde. Why are we not looking in the market before it's too late? There's still some good centre backs left out there. Clubs are eagerly trying to get them out because they want to leave. Clubs are looking at them so they can bolster their own squad. Why are we not doing this? I think people need to remember that it's not Todd Boehly and what's his name? They had I don't remember the guy's name that are only working. There are other individuals inside the club that can do business. They have a lot of business people. Clearly, capital is not only Big Hat or whatever his name is. They have other people that's a part of the consortium as well who can be doing it. But at the same time, this does not seem good because he's out laughing and chatting with James Corden as well. That does not send a good
What? Oh, was
message.
that real? Was that real? I thought that was a
Yes.
trolling tweet. So that was real.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh my god.
So that doesn't really
Oh.
send.
Man, this guy is really.
Maybe we
American.
have IBZ on our train.
No,
Go ahead,
no,
Ty.
no.
So things like that.
Go
It does not seem good. It kind of seems like he's sending the wrong message that maybe he's not taking this thing seriously. But at the same time, all of that with him doing it doesn't necessarily send a good message. And solutions, because let's not forget, we were hearing that he wanted to introduce cryptocurrency type of thing to the club as well. So that will send a message, and people start assuming that, oh, did he come for the club just so he could promote his business and his cryptocurrency and things like that? So people start assuming things. So it doesn't send a good message. For me personally, I don't see it as a bad thing, but it does send a bad message to other fans. They will think that he's not taking this job seriously, and with him not having, like you say, a freelancer, somebody who understands the football market, the transfer market, it will seem that, oh, he has no experience in the football market. He has never been in a football club's leading role, so he won't understand how it really works and how you have to negotiate. Yes, he can negotiate, he can persuade people because he's a businessman. You need to be able to persuade people and everything, but at the same time, this will not seem proper. It will make people think that he's just here just for the sake of it, to say that, oh, I am the co-owner of the football club and I am doing this. So this is not a good message to send. But at the same time, we don't know what he maybe just having maybe just wants to eat. You never know. Americans love to eat. So let's get some work. And they're welcoming people as well. Americans are welcoming people. Say he wants to welcome himself and say, my name is Todd Boehly, and things like that, and it will be a pleasure to work against you guys, and I hope that we can have a good relationship. So it sends a bad message to some fans because they are eager and they're desperate to see us make signings, and people will hold Todd Boehly to his words or supposed words of 6 to 7 players. So yes, this doesn't send a good message.
Yeah. So I think Ty hit the nail on the head there, Coach. Like,
it just doesn't send a good message because everybody will not see the business aspect of the whole thing. But go ahead.
Because obviously, like, at the same time, we ain't getting our signings doing, but you're there doing up dinner. People will say, "What are you playing at?" And I just mentioned now. I just heard now Ty said something about cryptocurrency. What? Sort the football first before you start putting your ideas, mate. Yeah, this ain't the MLS or MLB. This is the Premier League, mate. Yeah, we need to get Gary Neville on him. Listen, mate, put some money where your mouth is. Get the players in. Yeah. Get the players in, and then you can start your innovative or crypto this malarkey. Right now, Chelsea, south of the river, we ain't got players to compete. Yeah? So if we ain't got players to compete and we're out the top 6, mate, so maybe you want to sort that out before you start having dinners with other people who've got their stuff sorted. Because you're having dinner with Daniel Levy's got things sorted. If you're having dinner with the FSG group, they've got that sorted. If you're having dinner with Kroenkes and that, they've got that sorted. If you're having dinner with the Abu Dhabis or the Sheikh Al Mubarak, they have got they're sorted. So I don't know that when you mention it like that, you see it from the other side of the coin and say, this guy, what he did do, guy, But at the end of the day, he's new in it. I understand. So he may need to just say hello. When is he going to do it? Is he going to do it over the phone? He maybe want to do it in person as a good gesture. But I understand, innit? Good. I just hope that we just see better days, bro. And I know we will, but I hope it's very quickly before it's over.
Yeah, I think we will. IBC, just quickly, while I'm still with you, your thoughts on everything we talked about today, because I think it's about time we call it a day. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 28 minutes. That's nearly 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Again, yeah, man. We move Jules Kounde, like I said, like I was stressing for the past couple of weeks. Is he worth it? No, he's not. Thank God the club have understood that we are not going to sit around, so they're looking at other targets. We do not have the patience. We do not have the luxury to prioritize or start selecting. We need what we can get. If you listen to what Tuchel's been saying, we need what we can get. Obviously within reason, so it's not looking panicky. But again, we keep the reason high and we accept where we are and we look optimistic for the future. Me personally, coach, I'm not gonna lie you. I'm not gonna lie you, guy. I'm not expecting trophy. Hell, I'm not expecting top 4 easy like that. I'm at top 6. That's it for me. Because I have to understand that others have strengthened and we haven't. We have, but we've only like replaced, like, you know, but we haven't strengthened, added to the quality. I think others have done that, and I believe just because of that, we're just going to miss out because of that. Obviously, the coach is the coach, players are the players, but I just believe that the numbers are just going to do us in. But it's okay, it's fine. We're not out of business. We're not in sanctions. Our rights to play football and all of that stuff is no more. So we have, you know, we look for the future. But competing with the big boys this year, let's understand that it may not happen. And if it doesn't happen, please don't come. I don't want to hear #Tuchel out. I don't want to see that. I don't want us to be fickle fans. That's all I have to say.
Because it's not in any way the manager's fault. Ty, coming to you, your thoughts on everything we talked about. Thank you very much, IBZ, for that.
I'll
again, if you're watching, as we're coming to the end of the show,
guys.
if you haven't, take a second to like the video. Thank you for 156 likes, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Ty, your final thoughts.
This whole thing is hilarious. I mean, from Werner, from Kimpembe to Skriniar, from name callings, it was an interesting and fire, as Just Viola would say, stream. So it was good. It was a good discussion. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we just have to just see what happens for the final few weeks left of the transfer market. See what Chelsea will do, and, you know, hope for the best, because that's all we can do. We can't do anything else other than hope for the best. So it was a good stream, like I said, and I hope, you know, that you get to. By the way, are you close to? Are you at 5K or are you close to 5K?
It's not 5K yet. It's just I think around 160 something to 5K.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible to get that by the end of the week. So 5K.
Yeah, it will surpass that, actually.
Yeah. So the journey.
I want to say thank you for that again. Ty, go ahead. You were saying something. Tell people about your channel, and you can share the link to your channel quickly in the chat before we round off.
My channel is Talk CFC. I speak about Chelsea. I in the past I did discussions, a couple of reviews and previews of games, and, you know, I try to remain calm before I do them, because I try to you know, have a feedback to people that, you know, in terms of it's not where I am ranting continuously, because you need something that, you know, you can understand. And if you're angry and somebody else is angry, then it doesn't really show any progression. You need a peace of mind, so you need some therapy. So what I try to do is, you know, after the aftermath of a game, I try to discuss certain things and, you know, see where things went wrong, try to focus on the positives, try to highlight the little positives in each game. If we lose, I try to find what did this player do and things like that. But the channel is focused around Chelsea, and it's a channel where, you know, you find discussions, previews, and reviews. And, you know, I'm edging closer to 300 subscribers, so it's a journey that I am appreciative of, and it's a channel that, you know, I'm hoping the best for. So it's Talk CFC, and I'll share the link in a bit, because I have to get the link.
Yeah, again, thank you very much again. If you haven't, make sure to go check out Talk CFC YouTube channel, and be sure to follow him on Twitter also. Also, if you go to our channel banner, you will see the link to our Instagram link. You will see also our Twitter link. Be sure to follow the channel. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you guys enough. Again, with that, I want to say thank you to every panelist, Chelsea, every mod, Chelsea, the Kingslayer, Ike, IC, Kim So, Josh Viola, the queen of the house. Again, I want to say thank you also to Giant Mai, to every other person, again, even Amal Rustum, and every other person that was here, Gabriel or Mo Abbas, and if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only a human being, and I hope to see you guys later in the day. That is, if there's a need to host an evening show. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning show. I can't thank you guys enough for the immense support that this channel gets from you. We are where we are today because of your support. Thank you so much. God bless us all, and bye.
What